Howdy folks, and welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your GM this evening, and joining me are some of my friends, Matt, Olive, and Ari. Cara and Dan will be joining us this evening. Dan almost certainly, and Cara uncertain as to when, incrementally making her way here. But we will play some Starfinder tonight. We'll be joined by some more people. We have a skeleton here, and that's also
It's Cara.
Oh.
This is now Cara.
So we.
It's not a diet.
has lost 5 feet of height and hair and flesh. We're going to play Starfinder tonight. But before we do, a couple quick announcements. Let me switch up our music down to something a little bit more smooth jazzy. All right. First of all, your support makes all of the games that we play possible beyond just the Starfinder game that we play. We have a D&D game on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single week called Courts of Everest. Matt's there. Cara, who you may see at some point tonight, is also there. And then we're joined by some other friends as well. It's part of a 10-part series of campaigns. The first was played from 2019 to 2022. And we are on session, I believe... Let me look. 2,487. Exactly right. Session 75 for this campaign. We also have different one-shots, anthologies, different things that come up. We played Humblewood, Wakeworm's Fury, this past weekend. You actually can't see it yet. It will be premiering sometime in October as we are off for my wedding.
Yay!
I know, very exciting. We have other different anthologies. We have Feast of the Noble Vale that comes out every November. We have Fallout. We have a whole bunch of different things. All of those are over on YouTube at AlberonRPG. We have a tremendous number of projects that are coming up, ranging from the Alberon After Dark series, which features a little bit more mature content than we can have on our Twitch. You can find some of that over on our Patreon at AlberonRPG. We also have a bunch of different people to thank for music, but primarily Sirenscape, the digital toolset for people who want to add music to their games, and Monument Studios Music, which has a bunch of different tracks that have now been looped into our sound sets. But that is all the announcements that I have for this week. It is time for Mosaic Team 5. All right. Welcome back.
Do I have to do the recap?
Yes. I will do the recap. Go!
That'd be so funny.
I am also now just being put on the spot to do it, so it's still funny.
I can
Mosaic Team 5.
No battery.
Yep. Last that we played, you all found yourselves at the end of a series of combats against a number of different mutant sludgies far beneath the irradiated area that you all have made a home on here on Mars in the mega city of Aphrodite. You felt a little bit stronger and found your way through a pile of different goods, some of which were labeled with Ares, the same company that had produced the strategic missile you found yourselves in possession of. There was a brief debate over what to do with this missile, though ultimately you decided to turn this back over to the Ares Corporation, but not before Spice could send a communication off to Admiral Woe, the leader of most of the USR's armed forces here at home. After sending that communication out, Ares arrived rapidly, using teleportation technology to bring squads of USR Marines and Ares Overwatch soldiers to this location. You were met by an individual in a bright red suit, who offered you a number of rewards, armor, weapons, and weaponry for your starship that used a rare star metal alloy that would sometimes allow the projectile to pierce straight through the hull, straight through the shields, and find its way into critical systems by itself. With these rewards in tow, you rested for a little bit, saw the missile transported as if by magic away from this location, and Echo, you took this opportunity to make your way further ahead. You traveled back through the DMX gate. You traveled back through the now a little bit more slippery floors of the rec room and up a dripping, soap-covered ladder and into the nightclub known as the Sandstorm Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
Here, the foam party had begun, though the galactic sensation known as Silence had not begun to play, as a group of financial crypto bro douchebags from a local dojo showed up and had begun to harass the crowd. Echo, you took this as an opportunity to try out some of your newfound techniques and discovered that you were perhaps a bit stronger than you had planned for, as you assassinated the leader of this group in one swift blow, having their bodies sink beneath the foam and onto the dance floor as you disappeared onto the street.
Talk shit, get hit.
The rest of you eventually made your way back, with Bubbles finding his way to the laundromat and to a somewhat cacophonous scene. Though, Echo, you were able to arrive and defuse several of the situations that had occurred. This woman with a plasma cane beating against one of your machines, other individuals with perhaps biohazards now kind of incorporated into their laundry loads. You were unable to prevent the artistry of one Gloop, the artist, a plasmoid creature that dumped a number of dyes into one of your washing machines before activating it, creating the masterpiece known as the entropy of the dye. And as this machine was ruined, Bubbles returned, chasing Gloop out into the street. And as the rest of you find your way back to this place, Gibbs, you and Spice bringing a vast amount of glitter in tow. Spice, you having won some companionship and perhaps created some allies at the strip club known as the Crimson Nebula Dance Club. That is where we begin this evening. Mosaic Team 5. Give me 1 second to change the music here.
What were their names?
Who?
My companions.
Your companions over the course of your time at the Crimson Nebula Dance Club? Give me just 1 second.
Oh, you actually have their names? I was ready for you to just rail off some.
No. So Aphrodite as a location
Sarah
has 31 pages of notes.
Sarah 2.
So Crimson
Saran wrap. Sarah's actually just one of those blobs that
It's really just Spice wasn't really listening and just heard Sarah for all.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
Right, you gotta
Everywhere
roll
I
for
look, I
names.
see her name. So you had
What's your
met
name? Sarah.
across the street of the Crimson Nebula Dance Club, Alara, the Nebula Queen Valen, that was the person in that like PVC paneled suit, really the queen of the nightclub. You had seen Kezi, a Barathu cuttlefish-like dancer up in one of these liquid-filled stages. You had seen Raze, a Vesk, who is aggressive and rhythmic in their sort of performance. And then the person that you had formed a closer bond with was a person named Janine. It was a human, liquid holographics. They had turned you on to the person in the basement named Saret Vaughn, who is a memory technician and who specializes in memory dive sessions, intimate sensory experiences. But you met all these people.
Send me a fucking pop-up.
Thank you.
So for all of you in Mosaic Team 5, as you coalesce around the laundromat, what are you doing? You know that elsewhere in T-Town, the Biomancers of Oras have 3 safe houses or dams that keep this liquid blocked, and though you can turn and see that the levels on these canals have not yet begun to rise, you have stopped this processing in such a way that this will build up. So there is a timetable. It is not urgent, but it is something to consider.
Like 26 weeks? Yeah, 26 weeks approximately.
But it's something to consider.
Yes.
You also know that up above, within the elements of a slightly more civilized part of the city, there is a collective of androids that is currently occupying a vital site that you also need to clear.
The Edict of Junk.
looking at your timers, in 26 hours, 13 minutes, and 41 seconds, Mosaic Team 4 will touch down in the Bobby Lee Memorial Spaceport. And in this moment, I will say, you do get a notification of their intended destination, which will be at 10 p.m. in Bay 20. So what are you all doing?
I don't quite get the meaning behind this artwork, but then again, I don't often enjoy abstract art.
Shade is going to completely ignore all of the bullshit happening downstairs in the laundromat, assuming that Bubs is probably freaking out about everything.
Bubs out in the street, running out, is catching the person who...
Okay, so Bubs isn't here.
Bubs is gone.
Bubs is gone.
Probably
So
saw
looking
him running
downstairs,
down.
Faster than Echo, somehow.
Probably ran down the street.
It's the fastest you've
Not looking
ever seen
downstairs.
Bubs.
Don't give a fuck about that. Going upstairs real quick. And then I'm just going to the Bobby Lee Spaceport.
Okay.
I'm taking the car there.
You walk through
So if
24
anyone wants to
Curie
join.
Avenue. You walk by a android who is dressed in green overalls. You can see they are like very respectfully kind of folding their dirty laundry before placing it in the machine. You pass a Vesk dripping in this kind of spore-looking gas. You pass a Lashunta who is coming in this lab coat covered in what you imagine is probably blood, holding a cooler with a biohazard warning on it. You pass all of this nonsense and go straight into your apartment.
All
You
of
grab
that
the
was
keys
just in?
and you head outside.
That's a lot going on.
There's a lot
You should
happening in
just
this
leave.
laundry.
Can I close the laundromat? Can I kick everyone out and close the laundromat?
So how are you doing so?
Sorry, maintenance. We need to fix this problem. Sorry. Refunds. Please leave.
So Gibbs, you go out and you address the gathered crowd of about 3 people. You could see the Vesk looks over at you. Make a diplomacy check.
Hi, I'm so cute and young and little. 11 plus 14 is 25.
Is 25?
Is 25?
25. So with a 25, you can see the android looks at you and says, "You would not have treated my clothing ethically anyways. I will go to a different location." And they put their clothes away, begin to and very gently are laying each piece of clothing down in the bag. The Vesk looks at you and says, "I respect your directness, small one. I shall go."
Thank you. Sorry. Here's a coupon.
They take the coupon.
Nice.
The final person, this Lashunta, looks over at you, holds the cooler very close, and just says, "Look, I have to get all of my scrubs clean. The blood has to come out before I have my next patient, and it's coming up soon. So let me just finish this load."
Here, I can help you with that a lot faster. I'll token spell their clothes clean.
You token spell the clothes. Elements of this lift off, but this
It's kicked in.
viscera is caked in such a way that prestidigitation does not lift it off. There is something... Gibbs, make a mysticism check.
Oh shit.
18 plus $1 million.
Is this guy like
24 plus
laundering in a
18
more
is
criminal
30.
sense?
41.
A 41. What you are
18 plus
looking
24.
what you are looking at is the remnants of a magical operation that likely ended somebody's life. What you are seeing is the viscera left over from this extraction of likely whatever is within this cooler. You can see the cooler itself, biohazards. They hold it very tightly.
And how effective is regular washing really going to be anyways?
I mean, pretty effective, at least visually.
I
Unbutton the top button.
how long of a wash cycle?
45 minutes. Yeah, button the second button.
You're going to get naked here?
I mean, I have clothes on underneath. They unbutton the third button.
I don't like this. Please leave. I'm uncomfortable. Please leave.
They rip off their lab coat to reveal a plain white t-shirt and some jeans. And they stuff this lab coat straight into the washer. They slam it shut and they start the
The
cycle.
clean clothes that are really scary. me.
So you have managed to clear out most of the store. This person turns and says, "Look, my name's Dr. Dren. I can help you out if you ever need a doctor." You look
I
like
am a doctor.
Okay. Like, you make music or something?
The kind that has a PhD that's useless.
Oh, okay. So like most doctors, I don't have Well, I have a theoretical degree, and I think that's just as
What
good as any.
surgery was that?
Oh, so anyways, 45 minutes, I'll be out of here. And they turn around.
What surgery
and they
was that? What
hold
is that
this to-
organ?
They
What's in
look
that
at you
cooler?
with your diplomacy check. They go, it might be some eyes, okay? It might be some eyes attached to a brain that still has some thoughts in it, okay? It might be some eyes that still have some brains and some thoughts that are witness-related thoughts that shouldn't be in certain places and should be in other places. So maybe just turn around, go away, okay?
Is he gonna put them in a cylinder? They're gonna travel the stars.
Do you want to see him? They look around. Are you upstairs?
I think he's in the
I
car
think-
by now.
Thankfully, I think I've already come and gone. I would get. I don't know.
Okay, so
I'm
yeah,
not going.
you got the keys. You walk
I
through.
secure.
You see,
I
as
go
you're
up,
leaving,
get the keys, secure the area upstairs.
in
so
this
that it's
moment,
not
as you are walking
getting
out,
walked into,
you walk
but-
down and you see this person holding the cooler. They're about
Whatever
to pop it
happens
open.
downstairs,
You
Shade
see
does
Gibbs
not give a
very
fuck about.
excited leaning over, and then the person slams the cooler down, and both look at you very guilty. What?
The laundromat is closing soon.
Yeah, no, I know. We got a deal worked out.
I tried. He's
What
got some
does
eyeballs
that-
in a cooler, though.
Hey, that's supposed to be our secret.
They weren't.
Look, they're not really eyeballs so much as they're. Think about it like cameras.
Worse.
Where did you obtain these eyeballs?
I just kind of found them around.
Echo's just awkwardly staring from the sidewalk, just like, I thought we were going to leave.
Sir, I'm going to ask you to leave this facility right now.
Make an intimidation check.
Intimidation?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Intimidate under engineering.
Oh, yeah. 25.
Classic engineering ability.
Classic.
With a 25, they look at you. They go, all right. I'm not showing this to you anymore, though.
That's fine.
And
Now your clothes are wet, sorry. If you had left when I asked, it would have been dry.
they look up, and you can see suddenly the lights shift on the washing machine, and there is a loud and you see biohazard warning appear on the machine, and they go, well, that's your problem now, and they just run out the door. There is the briefest ding 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 as the door opens and shuts, but you can lock and close the Stellar Suds laundromat.
I flip the sign over to closed.
Is the biohazard warning... Can I just, do a quick rinse cycle to clear it?
No, you will need to do a much longer sanitation cycle, or probably about 2 hours worth of manual labor, or
I'll do the
Bubbles
long
could do it.
sanitation cycle if it's just an automated thing. I
yeah,
don't
there you go.
Yeah.
You set that
set
2-hour
that
automation
and
cycle.
head out the door.
Just taking notes for no reason. So,
I'm not a monster.
I
you
put
know?
vinegar in
I want
the
Bub's
washer machine.
laundromat to succeed to an extent,
It
but
helps with
I
odor
mean,
control.
it does.
to an
Will it help with
extent.
sanitization?
I would say for free, given your area of expertise, no.
Oh.
The sanitization effect will clear out the vinegar long before it can really do anything
Yeah.
active.
Fine.
You could, again, part
go
of the
check on
manual
Squeak.
process would
He's been
include
gone for
vinegar.
so long.
Fine.
Been a long
But you let the
shit.
sanitation cycle run.
Fucking...
You go out and get in the car. Echo, are you going with Shade?
Echo's been waiting for Shade to come back
Okay.
down.
Spice and Gibbs, what about the two of you?
Do you feel like we need to go pick up Mosaic Team 4?
No, they have their directions.
You still have over a day before they get here.
Is that where you're going to pick up Mosaic Team 4?
No,
No.
the equipment.
I'm going to pick up the supplies that we just had
And
sent
install
there
them or
to
whatever?
install, and also to confer with the director more physically.
Okay. I have...
I believe that's Echo's job, not yours.
Within the confines of the ship.
Even more Echo's job.
Cool.
Fine, though.
I don't really need to talk to the director. But I have some other recon I'd love to do. But maybe, I don't know if it's better to wait.
I have some recon I want to do at that game store.
I was gonna go to Spider Susan's Lobster Shack or whatever.
Lobster Shack.
Yes,
yeah.
where the Dippin'
That
Dots
will be
are.
making an appearance in a different game for sure. Spider Susan's Lobster.
Again, taking notes for no reason.
That's got a reason.
Yeah, that's
like-
going to be a one-shot.
Spider Susan.
Feast of the Noble Veil.
Oh,
Come
man.
on down to Spider Susan's Lobster Shack. We got the freshest lobsters. And I'm a spider.
Does
So-
anyone? I mean, I'll wait to go.
I think that's a whole team because she's blocking a whole dam over there. So I think we have to bring the whole team when we do
Right.
that.
We'll go to Game Store then.
Fuck yes.
Okay.
We're gonna kill some time.
Please be prepared within the next 26
Yeah. We're ready. Okay.
But it's the cards.
Yeah.
We're gonna be ready.
Echo looks over at Gibbs and just like places a hand on her shoulder. Remember what happened the last time Spice got too invested in Laser Monster Card Arena. Good luck.
Let me pull out my inventory really quick.
Would you
there
like
she
a
is.
grenade?
I've got a couple, but maybe I've got some more subtle tricks.
Don't worry, they're just gamers.
Echo passes you.
Nice.
Hold on, let me find it.
A single condom.
Well,
Just one.
the panic grenade? Yeah, panic grenade.
Nice. I'll take it.
Okay. So the androids getting in the car, heading off to the Bobby Lee Memorial Spaceport, and then Spice and Gibbs, you walk across the street. You go to the comic book store.
Cool.
For you, Shade and Echo, you get into the car. You drive out of T-Town. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull up my map. You drive out of T-Town and make your way the shortest way that you know how across the Sprawl District, across the Heart District, and eventually to the Bobby Lee Memorial Spaceport. Give me 1 second here. You find your way to the bay that houses your ship, and sure enough, as you pull up and as you make your way over, kind of crossing through the relatively quiet spaceport, it is close to 7:30 at night, and so easy enough to kind of make your way through. Not a tremendous crowd. You do see that there is a pile or a pallet of boxes that have been kind of arrayed out in front of you. Or not in front of you, in front of the bay. All of the things that you had shipped there are indeed there. You can see carefully lined up, a little bit polished off and cleaner than you had found them, the various crates that have been around the missile. Within the bay itself, there are the further larger containers that contain the newer equipment, including the railgun that is sort of sidled up
Ready
and
to
underneath
be
your area.
Attached.
Hello, Dan. Welcome.
You've got a lot to deal with at the laundromat.
There's some stuff.
But I started the sanitation cycle for you. You'll find out what that's about when Bubs gets back to the locked door.
So, for the two of you, what are you doing here at the bay with your ship and all?
First things first, gonna go in, check and make sure the ship is itself secure and that Squeak is secure and the
that.
prisoners secure.
You make your way aboard
Prisoner.
the ship.
Yeah.
The ramp
Is he
descends,
willing at this point? I have
You
no
make
idea.
your way up, and the first thing that you would
Quasi-prisoner.
notice is that there are a number of
Potential
glasses that have been left like on surfaces in various states of just like a tiny little bit of water left that you would recognize just melted ice cubes. There is a little bit of broken glass on the floor in the cargo bay. You see most of it has been cleaned up by that little drone. Some of the damage that your drone has accumulated over the war that Gibbs has waged with it has not allowed it to be flush with the floor anymore, so there's a few pieces left behind. But you make your way aboard.
I'm winning the war then.
Squeak immediately kind of roughs and runs up to you immediately, like jumps up, very excited to see you. Everything is as you left it, with the exception of the broken glass and various glasses left around. And Spice's father, who is passed out, just straight in the bathroom. You can see, like, sitting, not using the restroom, just, like, fully clothed. There is a glass of what looks like probably whiskey or bourbon that is off on the side of the sink.
Oh,
And the
It
director
smells
would
like
say,
the armory.
"Welcome
what
back,
a
Shade and
model.
Thank you, Director. There's a lot that we need to plan.
Shall I work on repairing the cleaning drone while the discussion is happening?
That would be a simple task. Go ahead.
Additionally, you should do more to contain Spice's communications. I have flagged and locked a series of messages to Admiral Calvin Woe.
Spice attempted to contact Admiral Woe.
Yes,
How many occasions?
on 2.
What are their contents? I hesitate to ask.
In front of you, the projector just beams this holographic image of Spice's text. And you can almost read it in Spice's voice. The first one has to do with requesting, like, information about Ares. The second one is a picture of the missile itself. In full glory, you can see, we found this. Spice, like, shooting a pose. You can see, like, Bubbles kind of, like, lifting the top of a crate off in the background. It's a very incriminating photo.
What is the probability of the message having gone through?
0.
Good.
What?
You flagged it.
You are highly undervalued.
This is not true. There has been a great deal of resources and expense dedicated to keeping me safe.
It is not enough.
We do have additional modifications to the ship
Very well.
for defenses.
Okay, this is Olive speaking. Why is it bad for Spice to send Woe?
The whole point of us trying to find the nuke was so that the USR doesn't find out that
they
it got
lost it.
What?
stolen.
But they lost it. So
No,
Ares
Ares lost
Ares
it.
lost.
Ares is a manufacturer contracted out to the USR.
It makes them
That's
look
like
bad.
Very
finding
big
out
difference.
that Santander, the bank, lost a ton of like U.S. Treasury money, and the U.S. Treasury telling the U.S. Treasury that, hey, this bank lost all your money.
That's still, I don't understand that. But
It's like if a missile manufacturer
okay.
was like,
It's
oh
like,
shit,
Yeah, but that's what
we
happened.
lost this missile that the U.S. government
So wait,
paid us
so-
to build.
But
for
are
I hear
them.
what
Ares
you're
and the
saying.
US are the fucking same thing?
No.
No.
What?
so in
One's
the same,
private, one's the government.
and so like
That
technically,
is the same.
No.
technically, like Boeing is a great example
Yeah.
in real
Yes.
life.
Airplanes.
Boeing is not technically the government. In all like actuality, it kind of is.
Like the airplanes?
It's
but it's
because
really not.
They build missiles.
the government
They do.
has been privatized so that private companies can make a fortune for their executives and
Okay.
board members.
Apologies.
It's a-
I didn't
it's a good
understand that. It was,
strategy, but
I
you're
thought it
like-
was a good thing to
And the
text Woe. That's why I did it.
politicians-
So like
No.
from like a
From a-
general citizen
Yes.
standpoint, they would
Yeah.
be like,
Yes.
wow, this person like they broke this news. It's great. Like they're protecting us from this corruption.
You are the whistleblower.
Yeah.
You guys though
You're
accepted
like
a job
the lame
from
whistle.
the
You're like,
people who lost
Teacher,
it
teacher.
to cover it up, basically.
So that would have
So
been
I
like
would be getting
we did-
Ares in trouble?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Is
and
that bad?
And then they
it
would
would have
know that you got
invalidated.
them in
Yes,
trouble.
because we would have been the ones to
Oh,
be
and they
like,
take all their fun stuff back.
Yeah.
and they'd
Almost
probably
certainly.
put us on
Oh.
like a blacklist, and they're a
Okay,
fucking
I get it now.
company that
Thank you,
builds
director,
nukes.
for
You would
saving
have had a
me.
lot more to deal with.
Yeah.
You would have had the more legitimate version of the carbon cartel also after you.
Okay,
But
Yeah.
Daddy
I get it.
would be
but
really happy
backed
with
by
us.
like
But
government
they were already really
contracts.
happy because they
Yeah.
gave us
And lots
medals
of
of
money.
honor or
Yeah.
whatever.
There's only so much we can.
Right, there's
Sniff
only so
their
much dick we can
asses.
suck.
okay. Well,
We don't want the
I beg to
nose fire
differ.
up.
Anyway, thank you for clarifying that, and thank you,
No
director.
worries.
So anyway, Shade and Echo are finding this out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Shit, sorry.
It is known that Spice is our biggest security leak.
That's an understatement. Sorry.
I have tried taking her communicator away, but it always seems to reappear.
It is important for all of you to be able to communicate with each other.
She is
However-
telepathic.
Spice is burdened with many liabilities, And then I look over at the fucking drunk, passed out dad.
The time for being quiet is gradually coming to an end. Once we have left Mars, there is really only one place to go, and you are all quite known there.
I'm assuming you mean Oras Bay, where we not so quietly spent an undercover mission for 12 hours.
Affirmative. Your previous failure was noted, and we will adjust.
Guns blazing, I suppose.
Bastion had mentioned Dr. Maldros is going to get something first. Has Dr. Maldros returned to Oras Bay? Do we know?
There is a high probability. There is no news of the shuttle Bad Day entering Oras Bay, but there is a likelihood that they have switched craft.
That would make the most sense.
It is likely the facilities are back in function.
Just smoothing out the metal on this road. The director says a number of changes have occurred on Oras Bay rapidly since you have left. The arrival of Rentropy and the creation of a second junk ring, chief amongst them. The arrival of additional GPF forces reallocated from Akaton is secondary.
Boo!
Mosaic Team 4 will arrive in approximately 24 hours, after which we must destroy the dams. It is likely we'll face much opposition within the Biomancers of Oras.
We do not need to wait 24 hours to destroy the dams.
No, but we will need the preparation time.
That is accurate.
Additionally, we still need to secure more explosives.
Ah.
We should be receiving how much money? I gotta look up the bounty.
For who?
For the Ares contract. 3 million credits.
For Chesterfield?
No,
For-
for the
No,
Ares.
for Ares contract.
For finding the
The
new.
Ares.
Oh, we got
Yeah.
3 million credits for that?
You should
Yes.
be.
We
Oh,
should
fuck.
be receiving
We got
3
stuff
million.
and credits.
30
I
million.
thought we were just getting stuff.
No.
Nice.
The reward was 30 million credits plus
30?
armor, weapons, etc. Yes. And it's going to the team funds.
Girl, I have 50,000 credits myself because of
That's-
last game.
Great.
I have 52 credits.
All my money goes to. Now I guess myself now. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Find your own
You got a
means of
little Roth
income.
IRA started
know what
up.
to do.
I did thank you for selling
Good.
a
What to
grain of
get.
sand.
Great. I'm
guess we
happy for you.
Buy a laundry.
You
So,
could probably buy a decent one.
what is it that you guys intend to do in this building up period?
So for the 24 hours, Shade's gonna resupply, like, install the ship stuff, make sure all of the new equipment is, like, ready for everyone's use so that we can bring it back. Return with, the rest of, once Echo's done doing what they want to do on the ship. Probably find a way to secure the whole, like, Hisoka.
So installing the new weapon and getting the rest of the equipment aboard with your features and abilities only will take you about 3 hours total.
Oh,
Wow,
easy.
nice.
Okay.
It would normally be an 8-hour job for the starship cannons alone, but I mean higher level mechanics I think are cutting things down by a factor of 4, and then there's
It's
something
like a
else that
quarter
halves
of
the
a
time
quarter,
again.
yeah. Or
Echo's
it's like
just,
a quarter
Echo's
of
just
the-
running back and forth between the engineering bay, handing you tools.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Ventilating
That's
the
really how
hallways.
it goes faster. Is I have Echo just like.
Scalpel.
So yeah, 3 hours, easy enough to do. You guys do that for a little bit. For you, Spice and Echo,
Gibbs.
Spice and Gibbs, you make your way across the street to the.
Before we go there,
Oh yes.
I say to Gibbs,
Yeah.
if we dress up in Monster Card Arena cosplay,
Yeah.
it just makes the experience a little bit better.
Okay.
So if you take your
Yep.
glamour projector and you do the dragon jarl,
Okay.
I will do the midnight mystic. And because I think those would be two good ones to go together because they're creature cards. And once we get there, I'll explain it more. But
Ooh, but the Glimmer Gloom looks really cool.
You want to be the Glimmer
holographic?
Gloom?
Yeah.
Fine.
Nice.
All right, you can be Glimmer Gloom, but I'm gonna stick with Midnight Mystic, okay?
Yeah, but I feel like that's a good
I did want
They
to
do synergize well. It's an odd
about something.
It's an odd duo, but it'll work.
Cool. I put on holographic spandex, but I got a little half cloak, and I wear like a little hood because that's the Glimmer Gloom.
Phenomenal.
So it's spandex in the bottom, but like.
Is the spandex going over the bottle too?
No, the bottle's just.
It's a little cloak.
It's covered by the cloak.
So the cloak rests atop it like a jaunty little hat.
Yeah.
The bottle mostly expands out beyond it, but yeah, no problem.
It's a pregnant woman in a crop top.
You wear the spandex.
It's like
Things have
Hunchback.
really evolved.
Yeah.
I feel the need to point out to the stream that Olive has listed all of Spice's outfits, as well as the laser monster card deck that Spice has.
I take my inventory extremely seriously.
I love that so much.
The material girl.
Can you tuck it a little bit more this way?
Hello.
Oh yeah, we can. We can be friends with each other.
Okay. Okay. So you dress up in spandex and a half cloak, and you are going as the Midnight Mystic.
Midnight Mystic. So I'm imagining the Yu-Gi-Oh card. What's
The girl with the hook.
No, the hot boy one that Pharaoh used. Dark Magician.
So
I'm
yeah, that's
imagining
exactly what it is. That's
Dark
exactly what it is.
Magician,
Not
but
be that
with like the cone hat that like weirdly arcs forward. But like hers is like a sexified version of it, so she's got like her battle gloves and she's made
so
them
the cone
into.
hat's a dick.
No.
How do you sexify the cone hat?
It's a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically
kinda sexy to begin
Helicopter
with.
Johnny at
Yeah.
that point.
And then she's got her like a little staff. I don't know. She makes it.
Is there a Helicopter Johnny card?
There is not yet.
No, not yet.
So, no problem. You
Someone's
switch
working on that
into
right now.
your cosplay outfits. Make a cultures check.
I don't mind if I do. Can we use Cinema Q for this?
You
Because we're
certainly
getting
can.
ready? Okay, so you can get +2 to your...
Oh, I need to try real hard? Okay. Sorry.
Well, can I aid?
How are you hitting?
Spice is literally going, yes, no, bitch. Do you think that's what Glimmer Gloom looks like? Look at this motherfucking card. It's
Take
shiny.
Take a +1 conditional modifier. That's me.
Yes, no.
Great. Okay. Let me pull up my stats now that we're level 14. Dun 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 dun. Well, it's 29.
As you're doing that,
30.
30.
30.
I got a 24.
okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Okay, that's pretty
My boss is
good.
really good, and you
That's
helped.
going out top, right?
And
Yeah.
for you,
Oh, nice.
Spice, it's actually kind of like annoying because you look over at Gibbs, you just pulled on a piece of spandex and a cloak, and it's like a really accurate
you use
representation of
Cinema
the
Q?
card.
I didn't use Cinema Q. I gave Cinema Q to her.
How much did that help me?
It's +2. So you're 26.
26.
and-
Nice.
There you go. Yeah, very good.
The eyeliner is
Yeah.
just
Yep.
Peak.
perfect wings.
It just ding. There's like a tear that comes to somebody's
Nice.
eyes off in the distance. But yeah, no problem. You do that. You dress up in your cosplay, and at 8 o'clock, you head out to Martian.
In the
Comics.
morning?
No, at night.
Oh, okay. I
Martian
was like,
We're
Martian
going to
Comics.
the late night game.
Martian
Serious rounds.
Open the door, and as you do, you can see that there is a very large human man, maybe in his 60s. You can see there is like machinery tucked into their belt that seems to be pumping things into them. They breathe through this mask that's attached to this machine, but they look up at you, and you are in a dark sort of store that has a number of tables that are all laid out. There's seats that are set up to be almost like a tournament or playing space, but empty is this store. You do see a lot of different posters for the various releases of Laser Monster Card Arena. You see all the way back to 2245, when Dragon's Death Wave and the Rise of Tia Kartha came out. These various expansion packs are like kind of, you can see in almost chronologically faded order around the store. you can see that they have recently taken into stock the 2250 core set and the most recent expansion pack, the Data Arcanum. But this person looks at you and just goes, wow, that's a really cool outfit. And yours is good too. Kind of old characters, kind of weak characters, but that's okay. What are you here for? Are you here to buy rare singles? Or are you hunting what's it called? The adrenaline of the pack pull.
I am a hunter. I am Spicy Me Dough. Pleasure to meet you. What's your name? Oh,
Hey,
shit! I already booked it!
Sammy is my name. Spice Amito, is that like your handle?
Of course
Spicy
it is.
Mito.
You think I would give you my real name? We are gamers.
And they go, and you can see they instantly pull up their communicator.
Oh, great.
This guy's gonna fucking dox you now.
Whatever.
Fuck.
I don't
He
care. It's a
shuts the
gamer.
communicator and then just says, so how many packs are you looking to buy?
And she like flourishes her like arm, her deck. She goes, I'm looking to play actually. Do you have any tournaments ready for us?
We're gonna close in 30 minutes.
Yeah, but when's the next tournament? You guys have to have live play here.
We do. Yeah, there's a big draft that's coming up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on Saturday.
Saturday?
It's
What's
Tuesday
today's?
today.
Okay. Saturday. Do you have to like sign up or some shit?
Yeah. Do you want to sign up for them?
Obviously.
They go behind the counter, they pull out this little data slate, and you can see there is exactly 2 names on there. Sammy is one of them. It is not a well-attended event, at least not yet.
Okay.
But they turn around, and as they look at you, look at the sheet, they say, "And other people will sign up. A lot of people walk in on the day of. But it'll be 25 credits to enter, and winner gets 5 packs.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. Is it, and she points to the newly released one?
Yeah, of course. It's Data Arcanum. Everybody who enters gets 1 pack of core and 2 packs of Data Arcanum. And then you've done drafts before, right?
No, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't.
So you get 3 packs to start. You open one, you pick a card, and then you pass the pack to the left. And then people take a card from yours, and then you take one from the person to your right, and you go around till you have a deck made, and then you play. Makes it fair so that people who have all the good cards like me don't win every time.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
But that means you can't use your cards that you have there, which are old cards, by the way.
Can I do a cultures check to assess if my cards are good or bad?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because I...
Appraise my cards
Yeah, I'm
with this.
appraising right now.
Your charge art's worth nothing, dude. You should just sell it to me.
36.
So he's right. You're looking at the Midnight Magician is a card that comes from the somewhat infamous Ruination of Uranus set. This was the set where Uranus was destroyed and the Endless Scourge arrives from the Dark Dimension. This is when the Endless Scourge was introduced. This is a dark being from a far realm. The champion of the Scourge, the ever-breathing soldier. Really, at the very bottom is Midnight Magician. Underneath even the Uranus Nebula cannon. But not a great card by any means.
Okay.
What were your other ones that you have there?
I've got 2 Yellow Eyes Drift Dragons. I've got Gorgeous the Mad. I've got Canyon Drake. I've got
the Yellow Eyes Drift
Dragon.
Dragons are worth a little bit of money as collector's items. They're from the 2245 core set. That's the original set. They're not very good cards.
Okay, so they're just worth money.
And he says, like a lot of games, there's this thing called power creep. And so the later sets are just a little bit stronger, you know? So you really always want to be getting the latest cards. If you're trying to buy rare singles, I do have rare singles, though. But you can't use them in the tournament.
Ugh, I don't want... I'm here to win a tournament. I'm a betting girl. But actually, how much are your rare singles?
I mean, it depends on the one that you want. I could also just tell you whole packs, and you could pull them yourself. That's pretty exciting.
Okay.
And if you're a Midnight Mystic fan, Data Arcanum comes with a couple more of the Midnight cards. Midnight Mutt is also in there.
Oh, I already have a Midnight Mutt.
Oh, okay. Well, which sets do you want to buy? It's 10 credits a pack.
10 credits a pack?
Yeah. It's kind of pricey because they have the hollow chip technology now.
I'll have 50 of your finest packs.
50.
50, yeah, $500, right? 500 credits.
So
That dude.
Too bad you don't have
You're
extra
gonna-
eyes so you could see which ones are the best.
they're gonna
Like
go-
see invisibility.
Yeah.
No,
X-ray
X-ray.
vision.
I don't have that.
for that, I'm sure.
There's also if you get a bunch of it's like $10 on the back of the.
Is this guy gonna
comic
have
book.
enough for the
Yeah,
tournament?
I can
All right,
send you.
50 packs. I'm
You're
gonna
in
give
the
you
shop.
all of
They
the
probably
War of the
have some
Gods
in
packs that
stock.
we have left, and some of the Godfall packs. Maybe you can pull some gods.
All right, you said War of the Gods, right?
Yeah.
Wait, is that older? She wanted
Also,
Arcanum.
you want to get.
Yeah, I also want.
prismatic.
You see that new one? She points to the like flyer hanging from the ceiling. I want that bad boy, and I know I can't bring it to the
You
tournament
also
on
probably want the
Saturday,
Elite Trainer box.
but I want it in my deck. And she like flourishes her deck again.
Okay.
Take
So
card protector,
he
too.
says, okay. What if we do this? What if I give you 30 packs
like an
of War of the
amalgamation of all
Gods
of
and then 20 Datum Arcanum packs? I
These
have to
digital
save some for the
monsters.
tournament.
Ask for
Datum
card protectors.
Arcanum. Throw in one of these Gunko Pops, and it's a deal.
Okay. I didn't even know we sold those. yeah. Okay.
Did you know if you cut the heads open on them, they have little brains inside?
I don't even think I should sell these. That seems unethical.
Good thing you're not. Okay, you're throwing them in for free.
Yeah.
Damn, it's gonna have to be
They're
weird.
growing on a
They put that
Yeah,
down.
kids.
They don't ring it up. 500 credits even gets you these 50 packs of cards.
Gunko Pops are just.
And an
Yeah.
eldritch abomination of a figure.
It reminds me of the Encephalon. R.I.P. Encephalon.
We could have an antique road.
Roll a
show.
D100 for your.
My
The
Gunko
Gunko?
Pop.
Yeah.
Gunko.
Because we have a Gunko Pop, but I don't remember.
We have a measure bobblehead.
Oh, we
Pull it
do?
out of my pants.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's see who we get. All right. A literal 20. 20
Okay.
even.
With the 20 even, you pull out. These are Laser Monster Card Arena themed Gunko Pops. It's a common one.
Okay.
Relatively well known, the Glimmer Shield Defender. And you have heard, you've heard of this card, it's pretty common. It's used often in shield token decks.
Okay. Let me write this down. Thank you. What did you say your name was?
Sammy.
Sammy. All right. Are you dressing up for the tournament on Saturday or not? I just gotta know what the attire is.
It's butt cracks.
Okay, I don't believe that.
You know.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll dress up.
As who?
He goes over and just goes,
Well, you
How
know
did-
you have to plan your cosplay in advance if you aren't already building it. It takes like weeks to prepare.
I just have to
Also
pick which one
literally
of my
just-
cosplays to use, okay? I got
Damn
so many
straight.
of them.
Amen. All right, you're one of us.
I'm gonna be Ajara the Firewall. I'm gonna be the god of barriers. So,
Ajara.
yeah.
All right, I'll look for you, Ajara.
Okay. I mean, it'll be pretty easy because I think there's not. I don't want to get your hopes up. It's probably only got to be like 6 of us.
All right, well, see you at the tournament then.
See
Sammy.
you at the tournament. Oh, and what's your name?
Oh, I'm just here for the butt cracks.
Nah, that's just, you can just call him Glimmer Gloom at this point. Let's go, Glimmer Gloom.
Bye.
All right, Spice Amito and Glimmer Gloom. See you
Damn it.
later.
Bye.
And you make your way out the door, cover blown. Bubbles,
Great.
you dash down the street. And as you do, you can see it's very easy to follow the rainbow-colored slime trail that makes its way along.
Yep.
And you can see at the end of it,
Alright,
kind of
okay.
passing by the comic book store at this very moment, this individual named Gloop. They are a plasmoid. You can see they are made out of just this almost liquid, roiling like ooze. And everywhere that they travel, they leave this slimy trail. They are wearing a beret and a little monocle, though both of those things are kind of sunk down into the center of their head ooze. As they travel, it seems like it almost sinks down further and further and further. But they are rushing over in the direction of the train.
Hey, you wait.
They turn around. You see the monocle swishes around, kind of turning to follow you. A tendril of slime pulls the beret back up to the top, and then they say, "Why, yes, my muse."
Muse, What's I just came from my laundromat and it's ruined. And I followed this slime and are you responsible for this?
Oh, I'm so sorry, my muse. Your laundromat is ruined. I must visit it at once. I can make it better, for I am Gloop, the artiste. I had planned to go to the Red Dust Rinse next, and then the Bubble Matrix 9, but I can pay a visit to your humble abode. Where are you from?
Well, I think I'm
They have
from
to
Prime
pull the
Station.
braid
But
up.
that doesn't matter what your artist stuff. I just you're not going to my laundromat. You just came from it. I followed the slime trail. You were just there.
Well, then you should know that I fixed your laundromat. It was boring. It was sterile. It was just boring and sterile.
That's why I loved it. That's like the key 2 parts that people look for in a laundromat.
But nobody was there. My muse, there was only 2 people, and one of them, I think, had organs in a cooler.
Well, yeah. Well, we're working through various rule changes at the moment, but that doesn't mean that. Here at SNS, we pride ourselves at having a lot of good quality core customers. And maybe we weren't having the peak season at the moment, but we were going to turn it around come Q4, and we were going to be totally in the red.
Make a diplomacy check.
I mean, the black.
And take a +2 conditional modifier
Nice.
for your impassioned speech.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm here for it.
Absolutely. What are your dice?
It's a 5.
Oh, no. Reroll.
Plus-
Use your once a day reroll.
Plus
You do have your once a
17.
day reroll. It is already getting late. It's 8
Don't
p.m.
use the reroll on something you
down
can't
again.
change now.
Convince
You already
him.
fucked up
He'll
the
come back and he'll
laundromat.
undo his paint job.
How's the slime man gonna get?
No,
rid of
I
the
don't think
slime?
Bubs would.
There you go. So this creature looks at you. They tilt the beret back and they say, "Well, now you'll be recovering even faster, and all thanks to Gloop, the artiste. I bid you adieu. I have things to do." And they begin to ooze off towards the train. They down the steps, and they ding, 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 through the turnstile, and they are gone. And their art is all that remains.
Bubs is just gonna kick a little slime on the ground.
Okay, you kick a little slime on the ground. It sticks to your shoe.
Then clean it right off.
It gets onto your hands. It's one of those kind of oily substances that, when you try to wipe it off, it gets onto other things, but stays on your hands as well, stays on the shoes. It's tough to get out.
Stupid glue. Even when I when I curse his name, it's always on. Bubs is gonna just like Charlie Brown anger walk home, which is different from Charlie Brown sad.
No, I know.
Stomp.
I know.
This is like when I have the word cloud and it's just like a bunch of crazy number
Squiggles and
squiggles.
stuff,
It's like
yeah.
half pig
It's
pen
more-
smell,
it's got
half
this- I
anger.
got this wedged in. I've been trying to get it out the whole time.
And I'm just half swearing but not fully swearing a storm as I walk down the street.
Yeah, the fucking fragum. No problem. You make your way down the street.
No,
Oh,
enamel,
thank you.
resin dice, not for that thing.
Yeah, I noticed. I learned. Okay, so you make your way back. For you, Spice, and you, Gibbs, you do see Bubbles very sadly making his way down, covered in little rainbow slime. But no problem. You make
I
your
will
way
lend
back.
my elbow grease to scrub the art
Okay.
and do that labor.
You pop out from the store. There's little ding, 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 ding bubbles from outside of the Martian comics. You see Gibbs in shiny spandex. You see Gibbs in a half cloak.
Hi.
Oh.
Looks like you could use a hand at the laundromat.
If you can even call it that anymore.
You know, what's nice is it doesn't seem like our customers care. I had to kick 3 people out from using the laundromat despite the art.
Yeah,
I just figured you'd want to clean and quiet.
I don't know. Maybe it's time Time I just hang up my dreams of owning a laundromat.
That's not. You're not gonna let this let you quit. This is what's gonna do you in? Of all the things? A little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of hard work is gonna deter you from being the best laundromat owner you possibly could? From helping others achieve the cleanliness that you know should be the standard of life?
The whole time that Gibbs is saying this, Gibbs is getting like closer to you. You see the little eyes of Gibbs shining up at you.
I don't know. I'll think about it.
Well, think about it with a little bit of friendship and have a snack. And when you come downstairs, I will have done at least 2 square feet. It's a little bit slow, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm here to help when you're ready to come back.
All right. Thanks, Gibbs.
And you storm up the stairs.
I'll scrub.
Okay, you begin to scrub using prestidigitation and elbow grease.
Damn, and it somehow gets messier.
I know, I learned magic makes it worse. I don't use magic. I learned that quickly, and I will just do good old-fashioned cleaning.
Okay, no
must
problem.
be magic.
You do some good old-fashioned cleaning.
Must be
For
magic.
you androids, a couple of hours goes by as Shade completes some repairs on this. Is there other stuff that you are doing while that is occurring?
In between, like, running tools up to Shade, Echo starts to think on the Hisoka problem.
Sure.
Director, do you think it is better or worse to have Hisoka on an endless bender and thus be out of commission? Or should I attempt to password lock the printer again?
I believe this.
Director,
You're here, right?
You're putting guns on.
I can't talk to you while I'm putting on guns.
No.
I believe it would be most expedient and most successful for Spice to lose the problem entirely.
Oh my god, insight check that.
This is why.
Lose the problem.
This is why.
The words the director just chose.
I mean,
Echo pings up to Shade on the top of the director and is like, is it better or worse to keep Hisoka here?
in what context?
Every context.
He is at least contained within the ship.
Our ship.
Regardless, the information that he holds is of some value.
Director, Shade believes that Hisoka holds valuable information.
Many people hold valuable information. The
Perhaps-
question to ask is, does the information outweigh the potential harm? Does the information outweigh the potential liability? Does the information outweigh the possibility of direct conflict?
In this instance, I do not believe I am the one that can make this decision as to whether or not to cut this father figure loose. He is not my father.
Am I hearing this? Oh. Well,
Echo has you
Shade
both
walks in.
Shit, robots.
Echo loops you both in.
Group call.
I believe any decision made is ultimately up to Spice. However, I have my personal reasons as well for keeping him here, though my methods would be more direct.
You are entitled to make mistakes.
We will give Spice a small amount of time before she must make a decision regarding her father. Otherwise, we will handle it.
Very well.
On that note, since Hisoka must stay here, drunk
Perhaps
or not drunk,
confining him to more restricted quarters for his binges may be beneficial.
I have confined him to the ship.
He is fairly confined, if we are being honest. Not that your quarters are uncomfortable, Director. But I am sure Hisoka is not used to being only on a ship with only Squeak for company. On that note, you might wish to take Squeak with you.
I did intend to, now that we have a more secure location.
Either way, we might wish to remind Spice that her father is still aboard.
I will speak with her when we return. I also need to discuss something about Admiral Woe with her.
Okay.
Speaking of, Director, I do wish to contact Admiral Woe about a different matter.
Very well. You have his communication.
I guess I'm gonna contact Admiral Woe
Okay.
About what?
about something entirely different. An exchange of information.
And now for something
Yes.
completely different.
And now vibe shift.
Okay. Okay. So you reach out to Admiral. Whoa. Give me 1 second here.
Echo just puts a note on the food printer that says, think about the consequences of your actions.
I love that.
This is
You think
know.
any Emido does that?
You
They
can't read!
Yeah, no second graders.
We are
You place this call.
immense linguists, but
Immensely.
Immense.
You are
I don't know. That's the
linguists.
first one.
Heyo.
We have.
Huge, biggest linguists.
Such a big
Ew, do
word.
not make us the Trump family. I do not want that.
So, you are answered. You see the communication rings once and then almost immediately is picked up. You can see there is a human in a crisp USR military uniform, almost certainly a member of the 3rd Pacific Fleet from the medals that are on. And actually, I would say, given your experience with it, you can see behind the iconography of the USR Manhattan, which you know to be Calvin Woe's flagship. This individual, however, is not Calvin Woe. And they say, Commander Ruse here, communications officer for the Manhattan.
Commander.
You are communicating from Mosaic.
Correct.
What can we do for you?
I wish to speak with Commander Woe about potential information that we've discovered in our dealings with a recent bounty.
What is the name of this bounty?
Bastion is how we were introduced to this person.
And what information would you have about this Bastion? And you can hear, like, they are, as you say that, they are, like, searching for something. They are going through, like, information.
We have reason to believe that he was associated with an entity within a space that is under USR jurisdiction. This entity may be malevolent and a highly powerful mystic.
As you say that, you see all of, like, the lights that were going. They were searching for stuff, but it just clears. Whatever they were looking at, they just close it from the screen. And they look at you much more closely. And they say, is that so?
I would like to speak to Commander Woe on these matters more directly.
Make a diplomacy check.
Oh,
You can
you
see they narrow their eyes
wish
at
I
you.
was there.
come on, come on, come on.
Use my reroll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Diplomacy?
Yeah,
Oh, God, I hate that it's always diplomacy. 18.
18. Maybe you should have other people here when you do
Yeah.
these kinds of things, then. In this
Well,
moment, as
usually they
you...
You know who has a good relationship with Woe? Just kidding.
I mean, you don't have a bad relationship with him.
You have no
Um,
relationship with him.
No, he's my hero. Like, canonically.
They peer through this at you, you say this, and they say, I would suggest keeping your dealings with Fuchsia Ling to yourself.
Ooh, we have a name.
Can you spell that for me?
It's fuchsia, the color,
Okay,
but then
fuchsia.
Ling, Leeng. if you wish to file a formal report with Admiral Woe, this is the information to do so. And on your communicator, there is a little secure link dropped for submitting a report directly.
I dropped the file that I already had prepared for this.
No taking time to insight check any of that. No sense motives needed.
I
Just
love that.
send it.
No, my life's
Well, I
so
had
easy.
it, and I had it washed so that it didn't have anything
Yeah.
incriminating, and it just showed the fuchsia links.
They
That's what I'm
nod their
concerned
head.
about.
They look at you and make a sense motive check in this moment. The look that you're getting,
Oh, that's a cop.
Is impressive. They're impressed.
This guy, there could be some inner office
6.
kind of.
just a deep sense of pride. And they nod and they say, well, good luck out there. And they terminate the communication. Roll a d6.
Damn. 1.
One's good, right? Low numbers, golf numbers?
Yeah.
It's like
Call-out
the
numbers?
Starship countdown.
Yeah.
Shade, as you terminate this communication, you can't help but feel like you missed something. Like there were things that happened in that communication. There were things that were not said, almost purposefully. Why that might be, you can't fathom. What that might be, you have not the faintest idea. But you get the sense that perhaps this person was trying to help you by saying to forget about that.
Yeah.
And you said, nah.
Well, I kind of did just say, yeah, put the file in.
No, he said you better off not like pursuing anything with Fuchsia Lee and letting Woe know anything about it.
And
Yeah,
you
there's
feel
some-
like perhaps
there's
that
some
was
fuckery going on.
really intended to help you.
Yeah.
And then you were like, "Fuck you! Here's my file. I worked so hard on it."
But instead, you
I
alerted.
didn't hear the part where he said you shouldn't tell Lee, Woe
That
about
was
it.
the whole
Instead-
point. Yeah.
He
You alerted
intimated.
Calvin Woe
Well, see, Shade's
of
not
a
good at
state
those
secret that you
things.
were aware of.
Those things
And-
aren't great.
Surely, nobody in possession of knowledge that they should not have would be in danger.
Damn. Well, hey, we've got the. Yeah. Well,
You got his real name,
yeah. Now we know that Fuchsia Ling is the
and we killed
real
him.
entity.
As the communication
No, it's
goes
bastards.
dead, you see the little
Yeah, it could
blue
be
light
bad.
on the director's interior light up, indicating the director in the same room as you. And the director
cringing.
says, I was unable to flag that communication.
Yeah.
Oh.
The USR is aware of sentient creatures below the surface of the ice. That they have not made this public knowledge indicates that they would like to it. They would not like for it to be known.
Shade lights up a cigarette and keeps working.
I would ensure all members of the team are appropriately armed and armored.
It is good that we just received supplies from Ares.
Too bad the USR got their nuke back. They're gonna nuke us. They're gonna be like, "Ooh, look, they're right there."
They
I
probably
would
won't.
also be very cautious using Ares arms and armaments against USR forces.
I will modify them to not be able to interact if possible.
Very well.
Can I spend the time to upgrade all of the new equipment to levels and customize them to not have any sort of kill switches or
So make an
elements
engineering
within
check. And this engineering
USR
check is about
power?
running some diagnostics and determining how long this might take.
You said engineering.
I don't think USR
Yeah.
will come after us, right?
God, I'm gonna go ahead and move this. That being said, it's still a 30.
Okay. With a 30, as you look at all of this stuff, this is probably about 2 days of work. Not the full days. If you wanted to just sit here and tank through it, you could probably do it in about 20 hours. But to do this, get some sleep, maybe check in with other members of your team, you're probably looking at 2 days and maybe like 10 hours of work on each day.
Okay. I'm gonna allocate enough time to.
So think about what you want to do,
Yeah.
as we're playing.
Yeah.
But no worries. So you spend some time
And
sabotaging
Gibbs
yourselves.
has the armor. Gibbs has
Hey,
her own armor.
We've
so
all
you're-
got to do it a little bit.
You're
No,
doing this
absolutely. I appreciate the fact that every time there's an opportunity, you guys take it.
foot in mouth, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
But Shade hadn't done it yet, so I think it's
Yeah.
good. It's good to be a contributor to the problems.
Yeah.
I think actually Shade's the only person that hasn't caused a significant
That's good.
problem yet.
That's good
so,
because Shade's been slipping.
Yeah. So, for all of you now, it is getting closer to 9 or 10 o'clock. For the androids, once you complete your first sort of order of business, are you returning to the laundromat or?
Yeah.
You walk in and Gibbs is in that full Howl's Moving Castle, Sophie eating.
As we're driving,
Like-
I'm just gonna talk to Echo a little.
Okay.
So I'm driving back.
Echo needs to be briefed.
Slice is sitting behind the like cash counter with her feet up on the dashboard, and she's just scrolling the inspo for your Instagram.
Nice.
Okay. Also, roll a D100, and I'll say this in general is the overall kind of pulls that you're going to be getting from those 50 packs.
Oh,
I help.
I just dropped.
Roll a D100 twice, and then take the higher result.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Because
So
I
I've
pray
got
over
a
it.
Well, I'm just gonna sit outside on the stoop. just
64
frowning.
and
Free action.
45.
64 and 45. 64.
55.
Spicing all 50 of these packs, though you do come up with some common cards, some uncommon cards, and some rare cards.
Yep.
You do not find any rare cards with alternate art.
No, none of the gods.
You do not find any legendary cards.
No.
You certainly do not find any legendary cards with alternate art.
God.
But you do find the game store guy's number that he slipped in.
Yeah, he slid that in there. Sammy, or whatever.
No, as soon as you said that you were going to enter into the tournament, and he wasn't especially interested in either of you anyways, but any interest immediately dropped as you are now a competitor. And that, like,
Bummer.
he takes it very seriously.
Now we have a rivals to lovers scenario.
You're going down.
No, it's lovers to rivals.
I mean, spicy.
he thought I was hot, and now I'm not.
You do not pull any god cards. You do pull, like, the Covenant Reversed, which is a radiant card that allows other radiant cards to lose their abilities. You do pull the Judgment Eclipse, which is a card that causes both players to discard every light card in their hand. You do find the Defiled Cleaning Pyre, which is actually a fairly rare card. And that card, if you equip it to a fallen god, just deals damage to every radiant energy. It's a pretty strong card in a lot of builds.
Okay.
You find a whole bunch of other things. You get another rare card that is called the Shatterlight Vortex, which removes every radiant card from the battlefield. It does need to be powered by tokens to do so, but it's a very good one. You find a whole bunch of good stuff. Nothing super rare though.
So I had to roll a 100 to get the super rare god.
If you had rolled above an 80, you would have been in God territory. Above in 95, that's when you start getting into legendaries and alternate arts.
All right, next time I'll just spend way more money because that's how
That's how you get-
card games
That's
work.
how it works. That's how it
Alright.
works.
It's pay to win.
Who knew 500 credits couldn't get you? But
But you do get a lot of power cards.
I got my
You get a
Shadow
lot of
Vortex.
tokens. You get a lot of those little rule
Light
inserts.
Vortex.
You're what the industry calls a whale.
Yeah, for sure. So no
A lot of
problem.
land cards.
You driving back with Echo, what are you saying?
I have made an error in judgment. We are likely no longer within the good graces of the USR. Further, I believe this is indicative of my own decline in ability.
While the error made with the USR is unexpected, you have mentioned this decline before.
It is becoming more difficult to discern the reality that is currently present. I see things more frequently that are not here.
Troubling.
It is, I believe, imperative that I find the missing memory cores soon, or else the defragmentation will be too much for my processing.
Your memory cores are not currently loaded. They are just empty. Correct?
Do I know?
Are the physical cores there?
Yeah, I think they are.
The physical cores
Physical
are
cores
there.
are there.
They are.
They're just not. I don't think they're empty. I think you just can't access them.
If finding them is not necessarily the issue, and coding has not seemed to help matters, of course, I am always amenable to trying again. But perhaps it is time you sought outside assistance.
That is what I was going to suggest for myself, but I wish to discuss the bond that you have with your fellow Echo units within your batch.
What about it?
How would you compare that to your bond within Mosaic Team 5?
I have heard Bubbles mention siblings. I would assume that with his connection with some of his siblings, the friendlier ones for certain, that is more akin to the connection that I share with members of my batch than true Bluetooth connections, if that is what you are thinking. The connections we share are not hard-coded. They are experience-based.
Yes, and those experiences within Mosaic Team 5. What is your general perception?
Are you asking about my connection to Team 5?
I am asking you as a fellow android, how you feel about the team dynamic.
It is a strange one. It is easier to understand other androids and their motives as well as their feelings. I am more accustomed to that. However, having also been on the Zin Crawler and around many Vesk who show particularly charged emotions at inconvenient intervals, I can somewhat understand where they are coming from.
I believe that dichotomy is something that is occurring in real time within me as a result of the fractured memory cores.
You believe that you are experiencing android experiences separately from your organic parts and those memories.
I do not know the physical reason, but there is something missing, and as a result, I am not performing as efficiently as I am able in a typical setting.
I will admit your construction is confusing. I do not have any remaining memories from the organic parts that were donated to me, nor do I have any connection to those original users. They are described as users in the contract, and I do not like that term. It feels, as Spice would say, icky. However, the connection you seem to have to your organic parts leads me to believe that your brain is not as hard-coded as you seem to believe.
I also have my reasons for wanting to keep a more lenient approach with Spice's father.
You believe his connection to this mysterious partner leads to some connection with you.
Vloraz seemed to know me intimately, but that element of my past is also a constant fear.
Might I make a suggestion? I am familiar with William the Pleaser, and William the Pleaser is familiar with me. That does not mean I should seek him out for answers about where I come from. I believe you might be holding on to a straw that isn't particularly useful to you.
Part of the reason I am afraid to contact Floraz is because I do not know if I will like what I learn about the things that I have done. Some of the emotions that I have experienced are dark, very dark. These are unattributable right now, but I have reason to believe that Floraz could provide insight.
Again, I understand the desire to figure out some things about your origins. Not liking what you find is, of course, going to come with that. I did not like what I found.
I am coming to you because I have seen what you know. And I know that whatever I find is going to be similarly distressing. My concern is that what I do find may impact my capability within the team.
Do you believe that I am no longer capable as a team member?
I believe that I will become not only a liability, but a threat.
Again, I have learned distressing things about my past. Am I a liability?
No. But this is different. I have experienced things directly. I have not spoken with two beyond minor details. But it is in regards to the more frequent flashes. There is a recurring pattern, and Bubs is often the source. Looking into the history of Floraz and his methods, it seems to make sense.
I fail to see the connection. Perhaps you could provide some context.
Floraz is a violently brutal, anti-human pirate.
And therefore you feel violence towards Bubbles as he is human.
I have experienced bouts of emotional states, typically within high-intensity intervals, usually within combat, where I could describe it similar to a berserk state, as described by ancient Earth cultures.
Ah yes, the ancient barbarians.
Yes. Our
From Do Not
forefathers.
Disturb mode.
New Yorkers.
Yes. They were called.
I have also read
Townies.
this ancient text.
Land of the Ice Barbarians.
Did Shane mention the Jacinto connection with the geneticist? Or did Shane keep that
yes.
to himself? He did?
No,
He did mention it.
I mentioned it because that was also I was going to talk
Oh, yeah,
about.
so I had
that
a
too.
scene about it with him about
Yeah.
not doing it because I think we should only go forward.
I believe that if you are truly set on experiencing the memories hidden away in your cores, rather than seeking them out physically, which would put all of us in danger, and indeed create liabilities, including the one on the ship, and the one related to the one on the ship,
And now the USR.
you might wish to seek help from other connections. You at one point mentioned a certain Jacinto nurse who specialized in memory retrieval.
Yes.
Would she be amenable to a house call?
I am not certain.
Do you have her contact info?
I had been hoping to contact her when we were prepared to enter the district and pursue the Jacinto issue more thoroughly.
I was unaware that was on our agenda.
Jacinto is somehow involved with everything that is going on. We know that Lydell has recently become more prominent within their executive team.
There is time before we begin our assault on the dams. Perhaps you should make contact with her. If not for actually going to the facility, perhaps, and I know you will resent this, dinner.
I can attempt it. I am out of my element in diplomatic situations. I suppose the stakes are lower than the USR becoming an enemy.
It is true, and I will remind you, you did get her contact information all on your own.
It's at about this moment that you arrive kind of back in T-Town. You come out through the tunnel and into the space where you can see the junkyard off to your left, and up ahead, the closed and shuttered Galaxy Suds. You see Bubbles kind of pouting out on the front steps.
Bub's like
Perhaps
kind
not
of
a house call.
like
Maybe you go to her place.
Yeah.
A neutral meeting ground.
A restaurant. Rats just wanna have fun.
Rats just wanna have fun.
Bubbles.
Wanna
see
have fun.
Your teammate's vehicle kind of idle
Rats
past you and into the
wanna
back where
have-
it parks. All of you now find yourselves in various parts of the Galaxy Suds. And as the two of you arrive, Gibbs is kind of polishing off the cleaning in the bottom floor. The only thing left is the piece of art. This.
I've been working on it.
Oh yeah, no, you've gotten everything else
Alright.
cleaned up.
The floor's clean.
The floor is clean. The only thing left is the machine itself.
Yeah.
And Gibbs, as you get close, you're a little hesitant to open it. You can see parts of the metal bulging a little bit out. Pressure has built within this.
Okay.
And so just opening it will likely result in a expansion from within.
Gibbs, that is a highly pressurized container.
Yeah,
Ding,
yeah.
ding, ding, ding. The door opens. A shade walks in.
I've got this trash bag and I have a stick and I was gonna, you know how you get like chipmunks out of
You
the
see
vents?
Gibbs, one foot on the trash bag to hold it open. She's
She's
about
gonna
to
go
Everyone
over
comes through and
and
just, like,
gently put a hand
skills.
on Shade's. Yeah, just
Can you
gently
help
put
me
a hand on
engineer a better way?
Gibbs' hand and be like, "Allow me to take care of this."
Nice.
in this one moment with Echo holding Gibbs and with you stepping out and saying, "Let me do this," it is just briefly like the painting with God touching his hand, except Gibbs and Shade outstretched. And in this moment, as you get ready to repair this machine, because it is 8:15 and a great place for us to take a break, we will step away for just a moment. There will be a countdown on your screen, and we will be back at the end of it. We'll see you then. And we're back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break if you did. If not, welcome to Starfinder. You're a part of it now.
Sorry.
Whew, excuse me.
That's what's playing in the background is
Yeah.
the Yosogi pop mix of 2020s.
I'll put some calm 8-bit music on. We return with all of you kind of getting down to a quick montage of cleaning and all of us minus Olive. Getting down to a quick montage of breaking down this machine. I would say with Shade's assistance, with the rest of the team's assistance, really,
Nice.
you were able to fix the laundry machine with no problem. That does bring you to about 11 p.m. What are you all doing?
I need to tell the rest of the team that we're probably fucked. So after we've fixed up the washing machine, we need to have a meeting upstairs.
Good. It's time for family dinner, midnight snack edition. Let's go.
And Gibbs, hands and feet, scampers up the stairs.
And I start making popcorn.
Make sure the food is bitter.
Oh no.
I put cardamom on the popcorn. I don't fucking know.
That's not bitter.
Extra bitter. It's going to be a tough.
I put capers on the popcorn.
So one of the things that you can
Salty.
set to the food synthesizer
Not actually saying that.
is
Don't
there
make
is
it-
a
don't make it
bittering
bitter.
agent that you could just layer into food. You can make food just more bitter. It's not
Make food
terribly
taste
pleasant.
bad.
Yeah,
It's just a fader.
Hey,
Well, it's
some,
not bad.
some species like the bitter.
exactly. So there, it's all about
Straight bitter pops.
really accommodating different cultural.
Yes.
Gentian root.
He doesn't actually say that, so I don't actually do it.
Okay.
But
I
make snacks.
Run upstairs. You start making snacks. One by one, you make your way gradually upstairs, presumably.
Yep.
And with the full team assembled within your apartments, what are you doing?
I have made a grave error with the USR.
Oh no.
They are likely going to be blacklisted by us. Well, no,
What?
the other way around. We are likely blacklisted
What?
by them.
Wait.
Why? What was my favorite? What did you do? As I text him, like he's my BFF, because he is.
What happened, Captain?
The messages that you had sent were flagged by the director and intercepted.
Why? We all know why.
We did.
Short lecture later.
Yeah. Oh.
I, however, attempted to contact Admiral Woe myself to inform them of the activity on Exonautica, as it is under USR jurisdiction. However, I neglected to foresee that they would already be privy to the happenings there, and this information is classified.
Maybe we should have a team rule that if you're going to text anyone who's higher than a captain, you need to have a majority of the team present when you do that.
I had discussed planning democratically very, very long ago.
You're not the most charismatic.
Regardless,
Wh-
we need to prepare for eventual interference.
Is our mark still
From
shiny? I
US.
pull out my little mark of great, whatever it is.
It explodes!
Is
Pull out
it
your
still
mark.
shiny?
And for what it's worth, that is a larger kind of device that is back on your ship.
Oh.
But you pull out your camera that you trained on it back on your
Yep.
ship, and it sure is. It's shining. You can see the kind of holographic imagery still displayed. If it's been canceled, doesn't show it here.
Yeah, it's not canceled yet.
Guys, so
I am working on augmenting the new supplies so that they cannot be tracked by USR. However, that will take the rest of the time here before Mosaic Team 4 arrives.
about Exonautica, we think there's something up beneath the ice. That's what Bastion was kind of hinting to, but does anyone have any thoughts or ideas?
What is happening on Exonautica is of the USR's concern. I did learn that the true name
Is
of
it also the
Bastion-
Vesk's concern and the GPF's concern? Is Bastion the big bad?
I might hold my comments until the explanation is finished.
Who's?
Thank you.
Jade? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
The The USR is likely already well aware. We learned that Bastion's true name was Fuchsia Ling.
I kind of like Bastion more. I get why he changed it. I would have.
The USR is already likely aware that there is a malevolent mystic entity below the ice. That information is highly classified by the USR for a reason.
They wouldn't bounty hunt the
Wait,
bounty
so
hunters,
under
right?
the ice is fuchsia?
No, so like Fuchsia was being controlled. Remember when I like talked to his body when he was dead, and I found out that he's just a puppet being controlled by like mystical bullshit under the ice?
Yes.
Yeah, so USR knew about that mystical bullshit, and they're mad that we now know about the mystical bullshit.
Why?
So,
Correct.
because like you know how like when there's a secret, like
Do you
the
remember
less people
the
know,
entities
the better.
on the
Yeah, but
Besk
like if
prison
it's a
board?
bad thing,
No.
then the more people that know to
Spice.
stop it is good.
Do you remember the time you told everyone that I was made by Peleade's rock? And
Yeah.
I got angry at you.
Yes, but I thought I was helping in the same way that isn't the more people that know if that's helping?
Shade lights a cigarette.
Shade is now experiencing that same mistake.
What? I don't think he's in the wrong. I think he did the right thing.
You made a mistake then. We had tried to get you to see that. I did not want that information released.
I feel like Spice sees that. Olive doesn't get it.
The USR has highly classified information because it's dangerous if that knowledge gets out.
Why?
People might panic.
Because
They
it's a
wanna
super
benefit from it.
powerful fucking entity underneath
why don't
the
we get
ice of
more
a highly
people against it? I
populated
feel like
area.
this is like a-
It's gonna cause panic and shit, and it's gonna
Good.
get other people
People
who are
need
like,
to
"Oh
act."
yeah, fuck that place,"
And
to
then the
do
Bastion
shit
and the BTF
against
are gonna
them.
come here and there's
Good.
gonna be a war.
Yeah,
But-
they're enemies.
Like you know
and they're
how,
gonna
like,
kill us to stop it from happening.
No,
Yeah.
There's something called operational
It's something
security,
bigger than us.
which is basically kind of like a need to know basis, and you want to like basically when you have intelligence, you want to sit on that and not like kind of act until you at least have a solution.
That's
for
what you do if
society.
you don't want to get killed.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's what the military would do. And so something to
Our
consider
Yeah, boo.
is in order to keep this quiet. Like, yes, for the general public, this information would be good to know.
Right.
However,
But what?
there are very powerful factions that would like to keep that secret.
Yeah, stupid.
The dissemination.
So are we the powerful faction that's trying to keep it
No.
secret?
USR is.
We are a small guppy that found the information by happenstance, and now the big fucking shark is like, "That's my fucking information
They're
nugget."
gonna come get us.
So I feel
Maybe.
like we should be telling the smaller factions and getting
No,
the word
We
out.
could have.
See, that's
From a
Warriors
moral
do that
high
thing where
ground
it's like,
oh, we have
standpoint,
warriors,
yes,
we
of
die
course,
kind of
that is
bullshit,
what
you
you
know?
would want to do.
Then why are we doing?
Because the
we
USR
know
would be
that
mad that
cons-
we did that.
Yeah,
It
so
doesn't
what?
guarantee
But
that
like
they'll go
they
after
have
us.
huge amounts of guns and a huge amount of power, and they could kill us.
Well, isn't that the whole point? Is to get the small
If you
guys
want to be
fight
like
the
a
big guys?
martyr or something, maybe.
We
Isn't
should,
that the isn't that it?
but we're gonna pick our fights, and then next we're
Yeah.
going to.
You don't just like run at a fucking tank with like dagger and say.
No, that's
you're
why
gonna-
we have to.
we
that's
can-
why we tell
We
the
can
small
talk
ones.
about this after
Yeah,
stream,
this is-
explaining operational
But
security.
one of the things to do, if you're going to tell the small ones, is to not let the USR know that you're doing that.
Don't tell the shark where the
And that's
school
what
Hey,
she did.
that's
Yes.
what you were
Yes.
trying to do too.
Didn't know that.
Okay, so
Now we're all on the same page.
Shade fucked up.
Spice fucked up worse, but it got stopped.
We'll
Yes.
find out how.
okay,
much
so,
worse.
going back to what was Shade was saying, back to the conversation.
Yeah.
So, the USR, they're aware and they understand that what Gibbs was saying about, Bastion was, or Future Lang was being basically controlled by whatever is under the ice of Exonautica. But guys, this isn't just, one situation. We've kind of seen this pattern before. All this mysterious stuff that keeps happening in these planets keep popping up, and then as soon as we try to investigate it or find any more information, we reach a dead trail.
I mean, I don't feel like this trail is dead though. Like we could go to Exonautica, and I feel like if I put my eye to the ice, maybe we could even just.
We need to focus on Mars, where we are right now.
Yeah.
Currently, we have 3 dams that we need to disable so that we can return the flow in the pipes that we just cleared. We then need to make our way further up.
So we have a plan for the Brumble Street Bridge. That's the one that needs the glitter, and Glimira is going to help us with that one.
I've allocated funds from the recent bounty collected that should be enough for the materials to make more explosives.
Did we receive that?
So you did not receive that directly.
Did Mosaic?
Have we
Who
gotten
received it?
So checking your team funds, there's no change.
The USR has...
If Echo, well, because Echo has heard this,
Yeah.
Echo is like checking the accounts to see if there's money available to us in the form of 30 million credits.
There's no money additionally available to you. But if you reached out to your team coordinator, they could probably tell you if there was something.
Echo is going to send that text while the discussion is happening.
Same with Spice.
So very quickly, you get a message back from Peep, your senior mission coordinator. And after the message finishes decrypting, it reads simply, yeah, we didn't receive 30 million credits. It was 25.1 million credits after taxes and associated fees. But yeah, when it finishes processing through, if there's requests that you have to make, we can add more of that into your team funds. I sort of thought you would want me to allocate it towards some of your various debts.
We need bomb. No.
Echo texts back, we will need 1 million credits
Please.
for Lucid. 1.5 million credits.
I want to have a little spending money for each of us.
For controlled explosive blasts to clear blockages that will impact the safety of the T-Town area of Aphrodite and Mars.
You get a message back, and all of you get a notification that your team fund is richer, 1.5 million credits.
Yay!
Only 1.5 out of 21, though.
And Echo,
After
the
tax
message
and
from Pete that comes back to you is, that sounds really dangerous. Be careful.
We have hired an expert in demolitions to assist in a safe capacity.
Oh, why don't you guys hire experts more often?
Sometimes
charisma.
things happen, and cooler heads are not always in control.
I just like to point out that I hired it. So
Yeah, I was gonna.
You just get a little thumbs up from Pete.
Echo was not referring to you.
yes, love that.
So, guys, now that we're kind of focusing on the plan, can we get like maybe a timeline on when we're going to act on this? Because speaking of planning and like moving parts of the wheel, I do have a contact that we've kind of set up. Mumu Skidamator, it's a person me and Gibbs met, and
The bounty hunter.
yeah, he's gonna help us basically clear the apartment complex before we launch the bombs. Mostly because we kind of told him that we were just kind of like exterminating the place. We just want to make sure that we have at least people to cover us while we do the fighting. And honestly, we can't evacuate people and do the fighting at the same time.
We will be moving on a relatively fast timeline once Mosaic Team 4 has arrived. The plan should be to focus on each dam subsequently.
Okay, so I'm gonna let my contact know to be ready in the next 2 days.
Does everyone feel that they will be adequately prepared?
I would like to talk to Dippin' Diane's.
Dippin' Diane is a likely enemy.
Correct. But she's also the reason why Chesterfield has the medical reliance he currently has.
You wish to talk to Tip and Diane covertly to discover the truth between her lies.
Yeah. Or she's already got a taste for Yosoki, maybe by showing up, but I don't know. It's kind of risky because that also is like right across the street from Chesterfield, and if like we pass each other at the bus stop, like, I am what I am.
Echo.
May I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
You have telepathy. You could hide while someone else does the talking,
Nice.
and you could feed questions.
That sounds really good. Maybe I could be put in a box.
Could you...
Would you deliver me?
Oh, damn. Brutal.
Echo dies in a corner.
Gibbs doesn't say no.
Could
She
you
does.
accompany Gibbs to dip in Diane's before we enact our plan?
Of course, if
Perform.
Gibbs is willing.
Further reconnaissance of the dam.
Cool. And then we also need to put these 3 huge barrels of glitter I've got on the bridge. Glimira said so. It's a requirement of her assistants.
They are gigantic black rain barrels full of industrial grade glitter.
We probably could ask Momo to deliver them. Tell him it's part of the pest control supplies and.
You want a skittermander to carry those.
Oh,
We could break them down a little. Maybe like milk jugs.
I don't. Why not just
I
have
have
the bear?
noticed you have a thing for milk jugs.
They're
provide-
easy and no one recycles them.
Well, Momo does have a friend who was an ex-member of the. Oh God, I'm forgetting the name of the ex-android.
Edict of Junk.
Eating of Junk, who possibly could help us with the mission and also maybe would be a likely lead for some stuff we need later. It wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe make some inroads with them.
You should contact your Mumu.
Yes,
Ask
Captain.
them to enlist the help of their associate from the Edict of Junk, who will likely need to have an in with them at some point.
Yes, Captain. Right away, Captain. Bubs will send a message. Bubs will send a.
Additionally, increase the amount of money you pay them for
Yeah.
the cost of renting a fucking dolly.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can drink the dolly. I imagine Mumu is probably up. He seems like someone who stays up very late.
Sure.
He's just drinking coffee
Yeah.
and smoking cigarettes.
That's what skewer manners I imagine in my head just do. They just constantly
stay
drinking and
awake.
smoking.
You have
staying
all
up-
those arms. Might as well
Yeah.
use them.
Just yeah, you
2
gotta.
cups of coffee,
They've got
2
one
cigarettes.
arm on a cigar. They've got another arm with a cup of coffee. Another arm is like in a snack bag.
Yeah.
So are you calling them?
No, he's just gonna send a message.
Okay.
Sorry for messaging so late. Work was crazy. We're trying to figure out when to do the pest control job. Are you gonna be free in the next day or two? And also, could you maybe figure out the issue? Figure out maybe if your friend would be free as well.
Okay.
I forget the name of his friend.
Make a
I don't
diplomacy
have the
check.
name of his friend either.
I don't think he did. They
He didn't give you the
Okay.
name.
Yeah, I don't have the name of it. I
See,
just have that he has it.
Friend.
They said they were just a friend.
What time is it, Joe? It's like late at night.
It's probably about 10 o'clock. Closer to 10:30.
Reroll.
Yay.
Reroll. And I'm gonna use my lucky feet so I get to roll.
6 times.
No. There's a 14. Better than a 5. That's a 9. That's an 8. Okay, so 14. Wait, how many times have I rolled? Yeah, that's
That's
3.
3. Yeah.
14 plus 12 is 26.
26. Okay. So you're messaging him, and you are requesting that Mumu takes a dolly and delivers these supplies.
Yeah, I'll also mention that, and also just like letting him know the time of the operation going to be soon, and also, hey, your friend.
Okay. So you mentioned...
And I will include the thing about the increased payment for the dolly, and if it sweetens the pot, I will. The deal we said was 15 or something like that.
It's 40K just to
40K.
show up.
Oh
and
my
40K, yeah.
90K if we also get to cash in Chesterfield's bounty.
I'm gonna say the job has expanded a little bit, but only kind of slightly. We're gonna be increasing the pay.
Okay.
Probably
500 credits. Fine.
we just made 3 million.
Yeah, but we only have 1.5.
I'm just saying, this guy has many arms.
He doesn't know this.
We have the USR
No,
going after us.
I'm just saying.
We need to resupply.
I'm gonna say we're gonna increase it from 45,
From 40 to
40 to 60. That's
What?
That is
No!
20 quid. Okay, it can come out of Bub's cut.
Bro.
It can come out of Bub's
There's
cut.
no Bub's cut.
There's never been any Bub's cut.
There's no.
I give
There's
you
always
guys all
Bub's
my
cut. I always split it up
But
exactly.
that's my cut right there.
I always
Bubbles,
split it up even.
you are the one sending
You
the
can't
message.
use
I'm
that.
gonna
We've been
send it.
broken
It's
up
only
for a
20.
long
It's
time.
20K.
All right, so now it's 60K.
I'm still in financial ruin.
Very quickly, you'd imagine that they were up because a message comes back,
Yeah.
and you can almost read it in their voice. And they said, "Oh, it's cool. Just
Nice.
drinking a Martian Mirage, relaxing at the Neon Spa. I'll be ready to go in 2 days."
Cool. And does your friend also need the work, or maybe we can talk up to him for later jobs?
And the message would come back.
You can talk to them later. They don't really need work. The edict, they look after themselves.
Okay, I'll send back. We'll talk to him later, but we'll give you the information for the job right now. And I'm going to give him the time of delivering the barrels.
But I've drawn a little map because I want to be very clear.
Okay.
He's clearing out the building on the day, but the barrels need to go on the bridge. So
that should be delivered on the day as well, because they'll just take the barrels right off the bridge.
Right. And like maybe we put I'm going to break up some of the glitter packages so they're some of them are like buoyant. And so that way we can put them in the like water upstream and they'll float in and then be part of it.
Okay.
So that way, like, even if they take off, like, the obvious, like, barrel or whatever, there's still, like, some stuff.
Sure, okay, yeah.
So I'm going to try and, like, engineer a little bit of some of that stuff.
So you're going to create a double tap glitter explosion.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
So no matter how it happens, we're going to get the glitter there.
And we can use some of the small explosions. We could say put some of them around, like, the bridge and stuff like that. And
sure.
And we'll tell them in the message that this is really good for removing, the pest problem.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
And I've drawn a map, like, the X's of where I want them on the bridge.
Bubs will include that.
You get the message back, a thumbs up, very big, enthusiastic 6 thumbs up from the
Scott. You love those. You love those.
Yeah, they're happy to do this, and especially with that pay increase, no problem. You imagine that they will promptly arrive before that time to pick up the glitter.
Nice.
And they will bring their rented dolly. With this payment, you imagine they'll take some steps to keep this untraced as well.
Nice.
I'd
pay half of that.
That amount of pay, not underpaying somebody, has a tremendous amount of benefit to it.
Usually, when you give someone a job, if you can make them think there's more jobs down the road too.
Yeah, no,
very good.
You've handled this in a very, very intelligent way.
Cool.
So no problem. At this point, it's probably close to 11:30. You all are getting close to the point where you're starting to really feel the effects of being awake for so long. What are you all doing? Any other business before resting for the evening?
Could you just remind me, Glimira is anti... she doesn't do texting.
She doesn't do any communication.
Okay, so
I had to throw a rock with a note tied to it.
Okay. So tomorrow I will go and give her the 2-day timeline.
Okay.
Echo would spend the remaining hour in bed on their communicator looking for the ships that Gibbs had mentioned. Glimira said had the explosives that we need to see if they were selling.
Make a computers check. So to be clear though, for that so this is kind of breaking and entering digitally to get this information, and you're breaking and entering into the harbor logs of the Bobby Lee Memorial Spaceport. So
USR already hates us.
Yeah, there's risk, but you certainly can do this.
Bubs is going to seek out Gibbs for conversation.
So as people are settling in for the evening,
seeking out Spice.
Okay.
Oh no.
So we'll start with Echo.
It's a 27, and do I get my reduce? Oh, it's culture checks. Never mind.
So with the 27, you are able to locate and connect to this terminal. Somewhere far off near the spaceport, you connect, the lights turn on, and you're able to access and see that there is security features enabled. There is a firewall that you are not high enough to pass, but high enough to see. You can see that there is at least 2 countermeasures beyond. Beyond that, there is close to 500 nodes, each of which connects to a separate bay. Within each of these bays, there is additional information, nodes that relate to the current sort of environmental controls of that bay, ones that relate to the actual workings of the machinery, and then actual logs of the starships themselves.
Arrays of bays.
Echo would, knowing that there's countermeasures in place, first attempt to bypass the countermeasures to get through to the actual shipping manifests.
Okay. So first, make a computers check to bypass the firewall.
So that's 33.
With a 33, you spend some time. You work, and though you are very quick in real life, digitally, the systems are a little faster than you. You are unable to break through this firewall. This is, while it's not like military grade, this is a government facility, and it's a spaceport, which is critical infrastructure. So it's relatively hardened. You're not able to bypass the firewall.
If there's a countermeasure in place, there's a 50% chance that I manage to elude it and it doesn't trigger. Not go through, but like I'm just.
Yeah. Okay.
Hate that.
It's your turn.
What?
It's your turn.
Yeah, it is. I'm reaping my rewards. Okay. Seeing that they still can't get past it, Echo would just like back out for now. We've already tested fate enough with the USR's graces, and Echo is just gonna kind of like close out of the system and leave it be. Let it wait.
You close out of the system. You leave it be. You let it wait.
I hate that.
That is what you do. Bubbles, you go and find Gibbs.
Where are we? I
You know the
imagine.
best part about popcorn? When the kernels get stuck in your teeth, because then you have snacks for later.
I imagine it's me and Gibbs downstairs, just kind of sitting around the mess. Gibbs is kind of like.
As long as it's far away from me. Yeah.
Yeah. Gibbs is probably kind of eating while Bubs is kind of like doing a little bit more scrubbing.
Yeah.
Have you opened the laundromat again, or are you keeping it closed for the night?
It's closed for now. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really
It
care.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Isn't it like 10 at night now?
Yeah,
No,
but
it certainly
24
does
hours.
matter. I do want to be clear. People will come in, and
24/7 laundromat.
you
Was it?
have had
Is
art
it?
put
Yeah.
in. One of the things that you noticed very aptly was this place was kind of busy when you left. When Gloop came and created this masterpiece, more people started arriving.
We
And so having the laundromat open, almost certainly people will start coming
We
in.
don't want
Nah,
that.
I want
No,
it
no, we
closed.
want money.
We don't
Got the
want
flow of traffic.
We can
The
leave it
amount
closed
of-
just for this conference.
For sure. Yeah, I'm just saying it matter. You said it didn't matter. It certainly does.
Yeah.
Closed for maintenance.
Sure.
So Bubs will just be like touring around, like kind of on the ground, like scrubbing. Gibbs, that was a crazy fight we had.
It was tough. It was scary for sure.
Can you imagine us, Mosaic Team 5, stopping a nuclear weapon? Can you imagine this when we first started?
Not really. I mean, we blew up a space station, so I thought we were kind of like doomed to damage forever.
Yeah, that is pretty true. But I don't know. It's just thinking about where we came from, like all this progress we've made. It's just amazing. Like that thing I noticed when we were on that, trek in that spike. I noticed that thing about your bottle. What was up with that?
You know, when I found it, it's because I needed it. And I needed it because I thought it was the only way I could save people. And then those people kept dying around me anyways. And I left, and I thought it was because I couldn't help them, but really it's because I just didn't want to keep watching them die. And sometimes being around you guys, it's like I feel differently. Like, I'd rather be there. I'd rather hold your hand and see what I can do and suffer with you than keep you at arm's length. And maybe not needing to be so far away has helped.
I feel like you've changed, Gibbs, for the better. I remember saying way back that I thought you changed for the worst. Something about, I don't know, with that bottle and your powers. I thought something was changing in you, and I don't know if it was you mind thrusting me without my consent, or a lot of just these things that you would do, with the Tony Express incident, and it just I don't know. I felt like I was scared for you, Gibbs. It felt like it felt like your need to heal everyone, to cure people of these problems that these have. It felt more like, it felt like you were taking the scabs off the last person you healed and using them as band-aids for the people who you're next gonna heal. It feels like you were just constantly trying to just solve people's problems and not really caring what the people were dealing with.
There's something to what you're saying, Bubbles. As the words leave your mouth, you consider that when you had met Gibbs did whatever it took to get results fast. Gibbs was really efficient. And there was something about that was really troubling to you. That brutal, almost machine-like efficiency in terms of how quickly they would just pull thoughts out of your brain, how quickly they would just go and delve into the deepest recesses of your mind. And that has really faded. There's been a lot of waiting and allowing that Gibbs has done recently, and you've noticed that. And in some ways, this inefficiency that Gibbs has created, there is a warmth that takes its place.
I feel like Gibbs, I feel like you're still growing though. And I'm just worried about this whole Chesterfield thing for you, because it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Shade was right to call me out about some of this stuff being a little bit more about control than fixing things. And I think what I'm worried about is that when I first met Chesterfield back on Petrus, and he took me around the block in his big scary car, and he had all of his brutes around him, I was scared of him. And right now, I don't feel very scared of him. He's sick. He's medically dependent. And he might still be strong. I mean, we saw it with Bastion. Sick people can still do terrible, horrible things. But I'm starting to feel a little bad for him, even though he's made all these choices. And I don't know. But he just wants control, too. He just wants power, and with power, control. And he was probably hungry.
But you see the difference now in that there's good control, and then there's Chesterfield.
I mean, I don't know. I've seen enough of him yet. I've only seen, I don't know what I've seen. Just that he's moving around, and I know Shade'll hate it, but maybe there's an opportunity to save him.
Gibbs, that's very grown up of you, Gibbs. And I feel like part of me, if I was with Maldros or I can't even say it, but I'm glad I've met you, Gibbs. I'm glad that you've given me the opportunity to reflect on your growth, to see how much I can grow.
Can I tell you a secret?
What?
You're my favorite.
Oh, Gibbs, you're my favorite.
Okay, we can never tell anybody.
Off in the corner of the room, you just hear this. Squeak growls a little bit, and then you see the little corgi ears kind of go down as he just waddles out of the room.
Gibbs, I mean what I say, though. I think that this thought about Chesterfield not being, this kind of end-all person that's the cause of all the problems, I think that's what I'm also getting at. I want you to help Junk fall. And after all this is happening with Chesterfield, are you gonna let the wound for Junk fall still be open?
I mean, we moved everyone to the Vivarium. Everyone who I could salvage except for Dust, and they're still out there, and maybe there's a journey to fix that. But I don't know. I'm feeling like I've saved what I can from that situation, and my family is healing, and less hungry. And it's good to know that sometimes when they die, if the timing is right, they're not dead for long. And that's nice. It's just we gotta stay away from vats of acid or magical dead circles or the eldritch horrors beneath the ice, you know? Like, it's a very specific set of circumstances, but, you know.
Bubs is gonna like kind of tap some. Yeah, well, I'll add that to my list of fears that I have. But you know, Gibbs, I think no matter what your people encounter, I think you'll be able to help them, and this time you'll be able to help them with a different set of eyes, more care and more love.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
I love you.
Love me too. And Bubs is gonna hug her.
Through the elements of chips and crumbs and things that are raining down off of Gibbs as Gibbs has consumed a whole bunch of snacks over this conversation. It is a crunchy hug, but it is a hug
I'm a little
nonetheless.
bit dirty, and I'm a little bit clean.
Kind of flashing over to downstairs where spices remain. Kind of
I don't
want to
follow that.
Too bad.
I don't want to follow that.
Shade, you
bad.
make your way downstairs and you see Spice.
We love each other now.
Quick combat!
We've always.
Isn't there a pirate out
Why
there
don't you
who
just
shoots
fucking
our
wait?
ship?
Fuck.
You might have quick combat here. You never know.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
You're ready for PvP?
Shade,
Who's
you
gonna win?
make your
Spice
way
or Shade?
downstairs to where Spice is going through various packs of these holographic cards.
Spice.
What? Just kidding. She doesn't say that. She doesn't say anything because she is feverishly. She's live streaming as she like opens the case,
Can I
and
ask?
she does the thing like.
I just have to know. When you say live streaming,
Yeah.
at the moment you are sort of undercover. You did just blow your cover. Are you live streaming as Spice? Are you live streaming like how is this going?
So we're in the director, right?
No, you're back in the laundromat.
Okay. Well, she's going to be in an undisclosed location. She's gonna have a VPN, whatever,
Okay.
scrambler. I
I'm
don't
just
know.
gonna
how
Make a
that works.
computer's check.
No, she's gonna get an F on this one.
That's what I was gonna talk to you about.
You're gonna see a bunch of SNS supplies go in the distance.
So like Shade, as you're walking, you can't
God
help but
damn
feel
it.
that, like, this deep sense
This
of
was
unease.
just gonna be.
You go downstairs, you look at, like, Spice isn't in the main laundromat. You kind of go, you look in the office, Spice isn't there. Finally, you make your way down to the supply space in the basement. And there you begin to see, like, the glow of a
Nice.
ring light.
I rolled a natural 19 for a 24.
Ooh.
And you do see, with some element of sophistication, a sort of digital cloaking system that has been set up. It is more designed to help people sort of like pirate TV and things like that, but Spice has repurposed it to sort of hide the location.
What are you attempting?
And
to do?
right here we have the rare shadow light
I'm gonna
vortex.
intercept the.
Make a computer's check.
EMP bomb.
But I'm not gonna like
This
say
card
anything about
is
it.
so rare that I had to get it from
Um,
undisclosed location.
27.
With the 27, you are able to just carefully sort of trap this signal in such a way that it feels as if it's still going. Spice, you don't notice anything change. You're just live streaming away,
Spice.
but it begins to record on a hard drive, no longer streamed.
And that is my last pack, everyone. Good night. Follow me. Like and subscribe. Peace.
Rose.
All right.
You end your stream.
Yeah.
We need to talk.
Successful day. What's up, Shade?
You and I have things to discuss.
Are you still wearing the costume?
Oh, duh. Yeah, no, she did it in full Midnight Mystic cosplay.
Okay.
She'll snap it away, though. So it'll just be in her her suit.
I want to apologize.
Oh.
Say more.
Because of my own shortcomings, I have allowed you to be lenient in your own personal liabilities.
This sounds like an apology. You're apologizing for not. Sounds like a backhanded apology already.
Apologizing for the leash not being short enough.
Yeah.
I have been ignoring and allowing myself to put off something that has been bothering me on a personal level for some time. I have been excusing your response to your father's presence on our ship and being lenient out of respect for your feelings, but as well for my more selfish reasoning. Your father is the only connection that I have currently to my past. And I have been hesitant to release that. But it is a liability for the team that we must address sooner rather than later. You need to talk with your father, come to some resolution, and get him off of our ship. We cannot associate.
Wait. I think you need to talk with my father.
I will not be speaking with your father.
Why?
Because if you do not address the issues that you have with your father, I will be eliminating that problem for the benefit of the team.
Let me just say, my father has a bounty, and if we're going to eliminate him,
I will be collecting the bounty for Mosaic Team 5.
Good, right? But don't get me wrong, my father is trying. He's trying. We had a conversation, but he is still lost. I can't save him. I don't think anyone in M-Team 5 can save him at this point. I gave up, and I'm sorry. Call me a bad person if I turn my father in for money, but I can't save him alone. My mother can't save him. My family can't save him. He's his own goddamn man. And so, if this is his fate, then it's his fate.
Then with your permission, I will be turning in your father for the bounty.
We will be
turning
turning him in for the bounty.
If you would like that honor, you may do it yourself.
I'll walk him to that stage, sure.
There's another matter that I would like to discuss with you.
Is it about Oras and my father?
Yes.
Because that seems like that's something...
After speaking with Echo, I will not be pursuing Vloraz.
Why?
Though I do need to learn more about my past.
So
The
shouldn't we
elements
talk to
that
my
I would
dad?
learn from Vloraz are not going to be...
I have a proposition. What if we let my father romp around space and do what he needs to do for Vloraz? Because we all know he's working for Vloraz. But we track him.
Vloraz is a criminal. We will eventually be...
So is my father. So is... okay.
We'll be turning in your father. We may interrogate him before we do so to find out any more relevant information that he has.
I tried.
He is a somewhat reliable source, if you are aware of his habits.
I think if you want to know more about Vloraz, I
do
think...
not want to know more about Vloraz.
About?
About Vloraz.
Did I just hear an android stutter? Are you nervous right now? Just kidding.
I want to learn more about myself. Vloraz is an element of that past. but he is not a reliable source of information. He is a criminal with his own agenda. However, I have another avenue that I wish to pursue, and I would require your help.
What is it? So if it's not Floraz and my dad, there's
the
another one?
Jacinto Gene Clinic.
Oh,
The doctor that I met.
Kelly? Kelsey?
Echo has suggested that I contact her.
You also have Sesmet, or whatever her fucking name is.
Sasha.
No. Senate.
The advertisement that you sent me?
Yeah, she's a memory diver. And you know it's going to be a good time.
To be very clear, too, Kelsey Zen, head nurse at a medical gene clinic.
Yeah, but which one do you know is going to feel
You
better?
want to go to Roxy the hooker.
And then
That is
But we have a coupon for it.
100% where I would go.
she is absolutely a sex worker, but on top of that, it's like a very alluring advertisement. There's nothing medical about this, aside from perhaps like a medical fetish.
What
if
is
ordered.
the medical term of happiness? What?
The services that I require are not something that she would be able to provide.
She being Kelsey or she being Summit? I don't care, honestly. It's your life. You can do whatever you want.
Then we have nothing left to talk about.
You want me to go with?
What?
I leave.
Okay. You
Wait,
make
now
your
I'm
way
confused about
upstairs.
what I'm still left. I don't understand. Olive doesn't understand what you just
And
did.
Shade goes and smokes
There
and
you
pets Squeak.
You
Go
killed
and
your
you
father.
pet Squeak.
And does all of the fucking prep to upgrade the weapons,
Okay.
Which is fine.
secure all the shit.
Yeah, that's more for
For-
tomorrow.
Yeah.
But no problem.
Can we just put a footnote? I believe Shade didn't say no to Spice saying, "Do you want me to do the turning in?" So if for some reason we don't do the bounty as the dead part of Dead or Alive, Spice, I might want to see that scene of Spice turning him in. Just all I'm saying.
Sure.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That's up to you guys.
Says, yeah,
That's entirely up
that's
to you
on
guys.
the table.
I have nothing to do
We
with
teed
that.
it up.
I'm just saying.
I am playing the guy who's
Okay.
drunk passed out. on the ship.
Pretty cool,
Let's
guys.
take her father in.
So
What a power
it is about
trip.
midnight. Are all of you now settling down for the evening?
Yeah, now's not a good time to message this doctor. It's late.
Or is it
At
the
9 p.m. at the
best
booty
time?
What time is it on Orange Bay right now?
On Aura's Bay, it's all galactic time. Aura's Bay,
Delayed send.
Aura's Bay would be probably
lady.
right around like middle of the day.
Okay, then Bubs is just going to... can I take 20? Because I did roll a natural 20 last time I talked to Tiffy.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to just casually just text.
It's still late night booty call because it's based on your
Hey,
time zone.
that's true.
It's your time zone.
Yeah.
What are you trying to message them?
Just flirting. Just flirting.
Okay, make a diplomacy check.
No, come on, Joe!
That's what flirting
That's what flirting is.
Okay, but it's past
Make
midnight.
a deception check.
It's
and be a
past
piece of
midnight,
shit.
so now I
mean, what
get
do you want me to
brand
get?
new... I get brand new...
Minus
Reroll.
10 modifier.
I got brand new rerolls.
You do get a brand new reroll.
The heart to heart with Gibbs really got you going, hey?
Yeah, he's got a hard on now.
Oh no.
No, I've been working this angle because I want to see if I can get Spice jealous eventually.
That's the end goal?
I don't know. Maybe they'll. I don't know.
You're talking about the most jealous person that has ever existed.
Right, you can look at a toaster
He
sideways.
simply wants to
like,
focus all that jealousy in on him like a laser.
Yeah. Well, maybe that will make or break us. We'll see. Or break us.
Yeah.
Breaker.
It's kind of like
us.
the logo
Breaker.
of the Pink Floyd album.
yeah. So, baby.
Bubs is the prism.
17.
Either it reflects or it's gonna zap him and shatter the prism.
That's a
Depending on
15.
how much energy's in there.
Why are you rolling so many times?
He's using his fucking lucky
He's
key
got
on
a
his flirting.
feat that makes him
Don't make it
super-
sound like that.
Alright, whatever.
That's what it is, man.
Hey, at least
That's a
he's not
19.
having an orgy.
So I get one more.
He's got one more.
Come on, natural 20. That's a 19 again.
Dude,
19's
a
fine.
19 is
Dude,
great.
I know, I rolled really well though, I have to be honest. 15,
In
17.
combat?
What?
19 plus 12 is 31. Also, it's not great
pretty
for
good.
flirting. You gotta be like, you're ready A game.
So you message with Tifi,
You know who gets
who
enough
at around
stories for that?
noon is currently on the beach at Oras Bay, enjoying the sights of the sea surfing team's practice as they study for some of their physics classes that would be taking place at the education center.
Finals week.
It's not finals week.
It's
It's
coming up in a
Also-
couple of weeks.
about 3/4 of the way through the term.
Yeah.
But at the moment, they're studying. Absolutely, you exchange some flirtation.
Yeah, just
messages.
casually talking about like I'm not gonna set up a definite time or date, but just like ideas of a date. You know, just like, oh, this is really cool in Orange Bay, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, we're setting up dates.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. No, she would tell you. You know,
I'm doing
Maybe-
delayed send. though.
Maybe it makers or breakers us more.
and she
knows?
would say
What that
if you are planning to go back to Aras Bay, she would
No one
love
does,
to
but it's
go
property.
to floats, boats, and totes. Pick up some gear and then maybe have like a picnic on the beach. That's definitely something that you could do.
Pretty cool,
Very
Spice.
specific. Yeah, how you letting Spice know this? You're just like, wow.
Very-
Director, read his messages
She
to
would
me.
tell you that
the
Jewel Garden
directions.
has opened up their patio for the summer, and you could go there. It's another very high-end restaurant. You could.
Too
take
bad
a
you're
s-
poor.
There's a scuba diving tour that you could go on,
Yeah.
run by the Lantern Light Diving
Nice.
Tours. That's something that she would be interested in. She would tell you that unfortunately the casino is closed still and not really an option at the moment.
Hmm.
She seems like a good person who wouldn't spend people's money to gamble.
Are you telling Gam?
Aside
Okay,
from
well.
that,
Okay.
there is of course the Sarenrae Park where you could go and rent a small boat for a little romantic 30-minute. It's almost like a swan boat, little marina tour.
The swan boats are where people go to break up.
But that is one of the places that she mentions for sure.
In this
Um,
universe.
Bubs will I don't think Bubs is like trying to hide it, but like he's not like, you know, like in your face Spice. I am me, Dennis.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's to see if maybe we can
Okay, so
we
you
can shake the barrel
you
and-
fall
Director,
asleep
read
sending
me all of
messages.
Bubbles' texts in the past 2.5 years.
You don't get a weekly digest at this
Maybe-
point.
I feel like she does.
maybe this is the thing that
Reading,
sparks
search
the
history.
relationship coming back together. Who knows?
Is
Search.
jealousy? Ooh, so healthy.
Search 1. Can dirt be clean? Search 2. But
Dirty is dirt.
you
Report coworkers to
all
HR for dirty.
you all find some rest relatively easily. Some of you more so than others, perhaps. And
I got
the
sweet.
dawn rises.
So easy.
Super easy. The dawn rises on the 20th of June. It is a Wednesday. Most of you wake up right around 8 a.m., bright and early. What are you all doing in this morning?
Spice's birthday canonically is coming up.
Oh, okay. I feel like Spice is the kind of person that
Every
has like
day's
2 or
a
3
birthday.
birthdays a year,
Yeah.
probably.
Oh yeah.
Just
Yeah.
random Spice's birthday.
Yeah.
It's a weekly event.
Wasn't that like wasn't that the strip club thing? Wasn't
Oh,
that, like,
yeah, I
for your
feel like she was
birthday? Where
yelling.
you're like, it's my
It's her birthday, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
do you want to go to Dipping Dots for lunch?
Doing dance.
Dipping Diane's.
Not a sponsor.
Spider Susan's lobster
Yes.
snacks.
Indeed.
I will
Although
be,
I think Spider Susan's Lobster Shack is on the other side of the city.
I will be heading to the Bobby Lee spaceport to finish the work there and be there to receive Mosaic Team 4.
Well, don't you want to go meet your Echo?
you do have a good amount of time until that happens. That's closer to like 8 o'clock at night.
I do not need to be waiting 8 hours for them to arrive. But I would like to be there, yes.
Cool, we'll make sure that happens then.
I hope lunch does not take 8 hours.
You
I
never
will see
know.
you when you arrive at the spaceport.
Keep an eye out for chemicals.
What?
And Echo just like looks around like,
Microphones. explosives.
with the instructions of looking out for chemicals, which make up most of the matter on this galaxy.
I will, using all of my processing power,
Chemicals that
intuit
we are looking for.
that they're the
You
chemicals
know,
that we need for the
chemicals
explosives.
that we want.
Ah, yes.
So,
to
Echo,
make
you managed
the
to,
sauce.
in no suspicious way
the
whatsoever,
secret sauce for the ingredients. that we need.
indicate that you need explosive flavor in the secret sauce.
Captain, can I come too? I feel like being in this laundromat almost all the time when my free time is not healthy for me.
Oh my god, I'll run the
We
laundromat.
want explosive stain fighting
Oh,
power.
good.
If you would like to assist with the modifications, you're welcome to join me. I'll
Yeah.
be bringing Squeak as well.
Yeah, that sounds good. Spice, yeah, you can watch the laundromat. Thank you.
I'm on it.
Do
Okay.
not get into any issues.
Doesn't hear what? I can't hear you. The door is closing. Ding, 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 ding.
We are upstairs.
Remember that the area is
She literally just
compromised.
does that as she walks downstairs.
Be on alert, because the area is likely compromised.
Yeah, money, blah 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 blah, coins. Yep.
Are you opening the laundromat?
Yeah.
Okay.
As we leave, we're going out the door, me and Shade.
I'm gonna lock the door
Uh,
behind me to the laundromat if we're leaving.
Okay.
And
you
she
go.
opens it.
You lock
again?
the door.
Yeah.
You lock it, and then behind the glass, she just goes, "Okay."
As Bubs
Spice is
leaves,
just flipping the sign.
Bubs is just gonna think about how Spice took his hand last session when Bubs was just kind of being really down about himself and Gaia's mutagen.
Sure. You think about that as you leave. Shade and Bubbles, you are making your way to the spaceport. Echo and Gibbs, you are making your way to Dip and Diane's. And then Spice, you're opening the laundromat.
As we're leaving, I'm going to message Spice,
Okay.
and I'm going to message Spice, deal with your issue
Spice is going to respond with a
within
question mark.
48 hours, or I will.
What's
Your
my
dad.
issue?
Your dad. Your
Send
dad.
it my way. What am I supposed
That's
to do?
all I sent,
Okay.
and
no
that's
problem.
it.
And
You
Spice
send
says,
that?
"Send him my way." I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like
You
that.
send that message. So you get in the car, you make your way over to the spaceport. For you, Echo and Gibbs, how are you getting to Dip and Diane's?
Can you use that?
I guess we're taking public transit because the
Okay.
car is gone.
Okay, I have a thought.
Wait, where's the car?
And I'll tell her this plan I have
Okay.
as we commute.
Okay.
But I'll tell her quietly. So like, okay, we know that she kind of works with the sludgies, and we know that there's like a doctor involved. So I think like to kind of sell the story and maybe have her like open up that half of her, and not just sell you a sandwich, right? Because like I'm sure the sandwiches are good, and if you could get one, I'd really appreciate it. Or maybe like a couple. But anyways, besides the point. What if I just roughed you up a little so it looked like you needed a doctor, right? And then she'll be like, I can help you. And then we'll find out how she's going to help you. And then I'll take that and reverse engineer about how she might have helped Chesterfield. And then I'll know. And then, but you have to be the bait.
And not Andrew.
Might I make a suggestion?
Oh, yeah, please. It's a really weird plan.
I do not think that they would help me if I were injured. It is the Biomancers, after all. I think they would help me become more biological if I were interested in that.
Ooh.
Augmentation
Yeah.
of the flesh variety.
Yeah.
So no roughing up is required.
Cool. But we're on the same wavelength that if you say that there's things that you want, maybe they'll fulfill the obligation.
I will compliment her spideriness.
Ooh, cool. People love compliments. And if you smile sometimes, well, make sure you chew with your mouth open. That really shows her that you're appreciating her food.
I read a book about emotional intelligence, and it mentioned a compliment sandwich.
But usually that's when you're getting bad news, right? It's like compliment, bad news, compliment. So maybe just take out the bad news part and just compliment.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah.
We could put instead of bad news, we could put show me where your guns are in between as the meat of the sandwich.
Great. And
You
Gibbs.
look nice. Where are your guns? You have nice shoes.
You are important.
Gibbs
Oh, man.
pulls out and unfolds a cardboard box.
I'm imagining, so now you guys are on the train.
Yeah.
This is like, you guys are taking up 2 seats.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gibbs
sure.
is Gibbs
Gibbs,
spreading.
yeah, like roll of duct tape, finishes the box, and it's like, okay, here you go. Just can you can duct tape me in, and I curl up into the box.
The box bulges with the bottle. It's a square box, and you are putting a very rotund kind of creature in there. You fit, but it looks like a very overpacked box.
May I make a further suggestion?
See, this is my plan. I'm putting it all out
You
here.
hear this coming from like slightly muffled beneath the cardboard.
I poke my head up. Yeah?
You have a glamour projector.
Yeah, so the thing is, it doesn't work super well with the bottle. It doesn't work super well with me. And also, I still smell like Gibbs.
I like the box idea.
Also, your telepathy works. For how much distance?
150 feet.
You do not have to be with me.
That's further than mine.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Mine's 120.
Either way.
Oh, then it's 120. Sorry. It's 120.
I like
That
the box
point.
idea. I want to see the box.
If you wish to be in a box, I cannot stop you.
box.
But you may have to be in a box farther away from me. I will look suspicious
Somewhere
carrying
between
a box.
120 and 150.
That still smells like it's just a cardboard box. It's not like it's not going to cover up a smell a tremendous amount.
Well, that's okay. Okay,
Semi-permeable
Fine.
material.
then I will be in an alley 120 feet away from you and in this box. Or in a garbage can if there's no,
There's probably
you know, there might be things. But I brought this just in case, like, maybe I find the world's cleanest alley and that's tough to be hidden in, you know?
Well, you also do know relatively the layout of where the dam is and stuff, because we have the map and the overlay, so you would know that there's, like, you know,
Yeah.
some area around
Well, the dam
there
is pretty small.
on either side.
So I
Also, the
find-
gas station is the spot where...
Right, and I want to be on the
Chesterfield
other
is.
side of the creek and the
Yeah.
100 feet. I want the 150 feet to be like,
Opposite
on the
that
safe side. Yeah.
I will
The
feed
Dip and
you
Diane side.
information and video feeds so you can respond faster.
Nice.
What's in the box?
At about this point, you do reach
It's
your
Gibbs.
glowing canal train station. You can get out. You behold in front of you the glowing canal. Across the bridge, you can see this sort of ruined element of what may have been a coolant station at one point, but directly in front of you, sandwiched between other elements of kind of ruined structures, maybe one active, Dip and Diane's. You see this fish stick shack, not a sandwich shop.
Oh, I don't know why I thought it was
You see
po'
there's
boys.
a big menu there. It does have sludge fried fish sticks just right up there for 6 credits. You can get the glow eel bites instead if that would suit you better. There is what is called Graf Gunk Goulash. That is the most expensive item on the menu at 10 credits. If you just prefer a snack, there is Bugs on a Sticks, and there is what is called Tox Tacos, 3 per order for 9 credits. You can see behind this place underneath the menu is Dip and Diane herself. Once human, but now transformed into a powerful half spider, half woman. You can see her thorax and legs takes up the entirety of the interior, and the top part of her body kind of leans over. And as you and Gibbs, or is Gibbs getting off of the train as well?
Gibbs is getting off the train, yes.
But Gibbs gets off of the train by flipping the box over and sticking her legs out. And
Make a
then-
stealth check.
Great.
Damn.
help.
I'm all for this. Hey, we don't know. There could be some box
I love that.
species. and
Echo
this
is
plant has-
helping by like kind of shouldering the box a little bit so that it looks like the box is just something in the way, and they're like, oh.
I maxed out my skill ranks in stealth for this.
For this one
For
moment.
this?
It's one
You
This
can
is
just,
when
you can just
were
max out your
ready for it.
stats and things
Yeah, I
per
did.
level. Bro, I want to get 4 points at level.
Skill ranks, babe.
That's it.
25.
25.
Because I went from like a 4 in stealth from the last mission to a 14.
Hey.
Because I put 13 skill ranks into it.
Hey.
Perception score here for Dip and Diane.
High intelligence.
Yeah, that's true.
Dip and Diane. Damn.
Oh, low dex though.
Okay.
Spider Susan
So you step off the
that's
train.
my cousin.
As the door shuts and Gibbs kind of clunk goes over, Dip and Diane, you see on this like very humanoid face these compound spider eyes, and in the reflection of those multifaceted gems, you can see Gibbs's box kind of, and then Gibbs like has to throw themselves over to get off. It's not natural looking in any way, shape, or form. And Echo, your attempt to kind of get this to push over, it helps. But you get the sense that Diane is very perceptive with a plus 25 to their perception checks. These compound eyes really behold.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And you hear from the inside of this shop, "Oh shit! That looked like it hurt! Children, go help out!" And you see from over the other side these spiders, each about the size of your fist, crawling up and out. Little bits of string and silk kind of hit the ground, and they descend towards you, Gibbs. Gibbs,
No,
all
I'm
of a sudden-
naked. Please don't look at me.
So you shout that from the inside of the box?
I think my cover's blown. Do I think my
No,
cover's
it's not
blown?
covered. I don't think.
I mean, my
So,
she
yeah.
sees the box. She's gonna go help me with her spiderlings. I don't need that.
So you shout this out, and in this moment,
Echo adds to it with just like,
Dip and Diane holds up the hand, and all these spiders kind of screech to a stop.
Nice.
And she looks and goes, "Is there someone in there?"
I just squat, so
You.
it's just box.
Just box.
I'm
This
embarrassed.
spider creature now like crawls out.
Oh my god, this is not happening the
Well,
way I wanted it to.
Get back to that in a second. For you, Spice, back in the laundromat, as Shade leaves, are you reopening the laundromat?
This is not what I wanted.
No, this is
A lot of the things that have been happening are not what we've wanted.
we're
But
doing great.
it's
today has been a tough day.
yeah. That's
Spice,
okay.
are you
roll with the
opening
punches?
Yeah, dude. She opens the laundromat,
USR, get
flips the
down.
sign over, unlocks the lock,
Go.
and then saddles over to the like desk area where you can buy pods and quarters and shit.
No problem. Almost immediately as you open the door, ding, 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 the bell opens, and this Yosoki kind of stumbles in. They look up, they look around, and they just go, is there an android here?
Just
Employee
me.
of the month?
Oh. Yeah, they're
I've definitely done something.
scouting right now.
Do you work here?
Obviously.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So they probably told you, the Rocco unit, I sold them a bunch of fabric softeners. I left a sample here. I brought the rest.
Oh,
Can I
well.
just drop it off and 10,000 credits?
10,000 credits? I don't fucking think so. Take your... what?
Listen. I understand your skepticism, but this is quantum scent fabric softener. It's unlike anything you've ever seen. Can I demonstrate it for you?
Of course.
They pop open their briefcase.
Yeah, but she's like, wait here. I got a bunch of dirty laundry, and she'll get her rave outfit. She'll get her stripper outfit. She'll get
Oh my gosh.
her
So many
everybody's
bodily
rave
fluids.
outfit.
Okay.
Covered in like foam in bodily
Gibbs
fluid.
bedding.
She'll
Don't
get out
hustle,
her
Yeah.
Are you getting
the
at the
orgy, yeah, the Elysium Resort stuff, and she comes down with this stanky duffel bag
I feel like
of clothes, and she'll just throw it out and be like, "Let's see it."
Oh, okay. You can see like almost throws up in his mouth, and
Spice does pee in
he
bottles.
just goes, "Okay, kid, do it for the watch." All right. Ugh. Quantum scent fabric softener. Roll a D100. They just pop open a
What did
tub
you even
and they
say?
dump a bunch of the fabric
The
softener
watch.
into this machine.
But there's something weird about this. It's like it like yells at you or something.
It like can make you hallucinogenic or something.
Yeah.
Like if you like touch it or something, it's not great. It give you like mind powers.
77. That's a fun
Yeah,
one.
different flavors.
Spice. All at once, as this is dumped in, the smell hits you all at once, like freshly crisped toast, and just a hint of cinnamon and butter. And all at once, Spice, you can't help but feel like you cannot lie.
That's what it is.
There is an
Oh, cool.
overwhelming sense of honesty that overtakes you. And you feel
Great.
Wait, so I do want 10,000 credits.
as
worth
if
of
it is
this.
very challenging to maybe be deceptive. And in this moment, he goes, "Okay, please, quick, just put it in, put the laundry in."
Okay. She'll
Okay.
literally put her dirty laundry metaphorically
You
in.
dump
does it
this
soften?
in. They take their briefcase, and while covering their nose from a distance, they swing the briefcase to shut the door. It slams shut, and they jump up and in a very dramatic, almost drop kick, just start the wash cycle. Instantly, the smell of fresh baked bread and toast just fills the space, and you again feels this explosion of like vulnerability almost.
How much is it worth?
Please
They
don't
look at
get
you and they go, "Oh, I mean,
butterflies."
it's priceless. This fabric softener is priceless. It's quantum. It does a whole bunch of cool things. And for you, bargain at 10,000 credits. I have a whole case of it,
It doesn't seem like it's worth 10,000 credits at all.
but it absolutely is."
It's not worth 10,000 credits. How can it be worth 10,000 credits? I don't believe you. You seem like a scam artist.
No, I'm not a scam artist. You're a scam artist. Look, this
No,
is
I'm
gonna...
not. You are.
No, okay, look, we got off on the wrong.
I might be a scam artist, but you're worse than I am.
Wait, you're a scam artist?
Obviously, look at me. If you get 5 more people to come in here,
Make a
I'll give
diplomacy
you
check.
your load for free.
Make a diplomacy check. You can see the eyes narrow, and they go, "I'm not actually.
Paying
This is
for the
your.
most.
This
The
is your
pyramid
laundry."
schemer has become the schemed.
I love this. This is fantastic.
I want to be on the top of the pyramid.
Let's see.
You can already be
Dear
there.
God.
Now you go find 5 people.
Yeah, that's
What if
literally.
our pyramid tips kissed?
It's going
I
to
like
be
that, Dan. I like that
a dirty 30.
All right, you want?
All right, look. Give me 5,000 credits. I'll take that money. I will go right over to the quantum spin and go. I know a guy there. He's kind of a big deal in the laundry world, you know. Don't tell anybody this, okay?
Judging by your outfit, it doesn't seem like you actually know what you're talking about. So
I do
I'll
know
give
what I'm
it to
talking
you
about.
for 3,000 credits, and you bring me 10 people. That's my deal.
4,000 credits, 15 people. Final offer.
Taken.
Okay.
Nice doing business
You
with you,
shake
sir.
this little Yosoki hand. They hold out a cred stick. Do you transfer 4,000 credits over?
She does, of her personal.
Sounds like some competition for employee
They
of the
hold
month.
out their communicator as well, and they say, "Take my information, and I'll call you when I have all 15 people."
Why do I feel like I can't hustle you? What is happening to me? Anyway, it feels like I can't lie. Anyway, here, give me your information.
Do you think I'm cute?
Fuck no, you're ugly as fuck. But your friends are cute, I think, maybe. I don't know,
just
there's
like my
potential.
All right. Well,
Maybe if you, honestly, you could be cuter if you just put your hair like this and she'll like part his hair to the side. And then she'll be like, actually, you need a little bit of palm olive. If you just get some palm olive,
he's
you'll
like
be way
looking at
cuter.
himself now as like the washing machine goes. It is just this disgusting clothing that is like melting all of this biological
it's like
material
sheath
off of it. There's the smell of bread, and they're like, "Yeah, no, absolutely." And you get the sense they're probably never going to change their hairstyle ever again. Like this is a permanent fixture for them. But no
Whatever.
problem. And after
Pomade
about
is
20
what the
minutes,
word is.
Yeah.
they
Whatever.
gather
Palm
up
olive, though.
Soap on that.
they leave this 4,000 credit case of fabric softener, quantum fabric softener, and they say, "All right, I'm going to go get 14 people. I'm going to bring them right back.
It was
and then-
15 people, but okay.
and we're going to sell a ton of this shit. And we're going to split it. 50-50.
Fuck, that was not the deal.
I thought 15 people to do laundry here.
Yeah.
I'm not there.
No, that wasn't the deal. Get out
No,
of here.
we're not. Well, no. We're not going to get people to do laundry here. We're going to get people to come and buy more of this fabric softener, and we're
That
going to
wasn't
split
the
it.
deal. Be gone.
Do you want free money or not?
Oh, nice.
And split it. I don't understand.
He's-
Olive
he's-
doesn't understand.
You made it so that you are at the top of a multi-level marketing scheme.
So yeah, I want to stay there, and that's what Spice
He's
agrees
saying,
to.
do you want to be at
wants
the top
people
of
to come
this
here to buy
pyramid
fabric
scheme
softener
with
so
me
that
or
they sell
not?
it.
Yes.
Then yes.
So and all you
Even
have
better,
is
I don't know.
Sell it
basically
or-
using. You have convinced him to essentially pay you 50% of what he will make by bringing people to your location
then yeah.
and selling
I like
his
that.
stuff there. You're
Good.
basically serving as a store.
You're a showroom.
Yeah. Done.
And you're
And
bringing
so-
employee.
And I just got
Yeah.
yeah.
And the customers will come as a result. So no problem. You make this deal.
Better than an art
and they
installation.
ding, 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 go running out the door.
Okay,
in
unless
a
The
Customers.
product is fucking trash.
Or the customers are
Also,
fucking
Spice is
idiots.
going to charge that $4,000 credit to Mosaic Team 5 and see if it goes through.
No problem.
Laundry
4,000
business.
credits seems to be almost nothing compared to the balance.
That's
that
what
you
it says in the
currently have.
balance. Laundry business.
Laundry business.
When did Spice regain direct access to the Mosaic Team funds?
You all have access to the Mosaic Team funds.
We never technically needed to funnel it through you. We could just go
Peep
to
had
Peep
been
directly.
Well, yeah.
People
but I
ask that you
guess-
pass it through you,
Yeah.
and you're responsible for it, but you all have access to the funds. There was a period where when you were on Prime Station, you locked Spice out of the Prime Station payment system. But that is a closed loop that wasn't connected to the rest of the
I wanna
galaxy. You
close
remember
this
very
loop.
specifically that was a problem that was brewing on that station.
4,000's fine, but we're gonna close that loop.
Okay.
Not close yet.
So Bubbles and Shade, the two of you load into the car and make your way off towards the Bobby Lee Memorial Space Station. It
That's
is
not how our car sounds.
apparently a belt is slipped on the car, but you continue to make your way over.
It's probably
Um,
silent at this point.
Once
We're
you
in the fucking
arrive,
future.
you have most of the preparation kind of done. You can very quickly get to work on mounting these rail cannons and taking apart the elements of Ares industry arms to refit in a more neutral configuration. What are you all doing there? You're just working on these projects?
Yeah.
Okay.
Working on the projects. I'm also, as we're driving over, gonna contact Dr. Kelsey, or I guess head nurse Kelsey.
Yeah. She's an MP. So you contact them. Are you calling them? Are you messaging them? What are you doing?
Probably messaging.
Okay. What are you saying?
Well, I'm driving, so I gotta be safe. I'm sending it via exocortex here.
Don't exocortex.
I'm sending it with my
Hands-free.
second brain.
I'm saying.
my exocortex.
I'm trying to think how Shade would try to like start a date.
Hey, lady.
Hello, I am initiating.
I am imagining very much like an elementary
Social
school passing a
interaction.
note. Do you want to go on a date with me?
No,
Yes. No.
no, Shade
That
is
literally
not,
happened to me in real
Shade's
life.
not a
It
doofus.
was the worst thing that ever happened to me in
Shade's
my whole life.
Smart enough.
You know
to
who
not
has the
do
most
that.
riz
girl.
at the moment?
I heard you look at
Shade is
memories.
just going to message, hello, Kelsey. I have arrived on Aphrodite. Would you be interested in getting dinner?
Very quickly, you get the response back. Simply, yes.
I am unfamiliar with the area. Is there a place that you like?
Make a diplomacy check.
That's pretty good for Shade.
Use your reroll to flirt. Trust me, it's a
the
good
new
idea.
day.
You rolled
It's the
like
new day, but
17, 17, 19,
don't know,
19,
we have-
whatever, again and
I
again.
have other stuff, and I
And
don't
hope
know.
for
I feel
20.
like the reroll's not going to help much.
I wasted mine.
Do
So
I
bad.
want? Should I waste it?
I wasted mine, and
I got a whole day.
I like
ahead of
rolled like a
us.
17
I'm
as my
gonna keep
first
it. It's
roll,
an
and
11.
I was like, I don't care. I want
It's,
a 20.
11.
An 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a reroll. I should have used it. Oh well.
Very quickly, you get a message back, and it is a pin. And it's, I would say, it is a reflection, perhaps, of her opinion of you. It is not in Pathologist Park, where you know that she works. It is not a location that is anywhere within the Heart District, nor within the Arms District, where the Steel Jungle is, nor even within the Trunk District. This is a place that is very close to you.
Oh damn! She thinks I'm like slumming it already.
She
Dang,
sends
she
you
doesn't want
a
to be
pin.
associated.
Oh, I don't know if we're in T-Town still because we're driving.
You're not within T-Town still, but
Yeah.
but to
We're
where you
on the
reside
way to the
within
Bobby
T-Town.
Lee.
Oh, okay. All right then.
There is the Boozy Sunset Cantina,
Oh my god.
a
Nice.
place in T-Town proper, a very affordable location.
Damn, I'm surprised.
There's a jukebox that can be synced to your communicator, and it can play up to 5 songs for a single credit.
Ask for a girl named Sarah. Just kidding.
Sarah Shine is a server that works there, yes.
Work to.
Or she quit for medical reasons.
She quit for medical reasons. I like that. So,
I'm going to say, What time would you like to meet?
And you get a notification back at 8 p.m. tonight. You would know that this is the exact same time that the Mosaic Team 4 should be due to arrive. And so this presents you with a choice.
I could just pick them up.
You know Echo wants to
This
go.
is my human remote dater. I send them on my first dates to make sure it's not a I thought you meant like sending bubbles to go on the date.
That'd be so funny.
Hello, I am Shade's proxy date.
Apparently, Bubs is the ultimate flirt.
I got the Riz.
Hey,
So
He's got the
Shade
wrist.
sent me on this date
this
for him
+5
because
diplomacy.
they weren't sure what to say. So
here are the captain's orders.
So he ordered me to come here.
Captain thinks you're cute.
Plus 20
Wow,
modification.
that got me really good. Captain thinks you're cute. Oh boy.
So, okay, so can this happen now, please? Can't. Too much of a good thing, though.
So Shade, as you realize that 8 p.m. is in fact the same time as Mosaic Team 4 arrives, and you realize you will need to make a choice. Because it is 9:45. And a wonderful place.
Let's let it play out.
As you consider
Gibbs in a
your
box.
options, Gibbs, as you and Echo look at Dippin' Diane and her like stopping all these spiders swarming over the space towards you, and Spice, as you begin the start of perhaps a 4-dimensional pyramid scheme, this is where we're going to end for the evening. Thank you for joining us for Mosaic Team 5. You can join us next week when we continue this adventure, but if you can't wait that long, come back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Courts of Everest, our original D&D game, as the party delves deeper into this library where certainly nothing bad could happen.
Equally silly and lighthearted.
Equally silly and lighthearted.
Oh,
But whatever
shit.
you do, please stay safe. It is wild out there. We'll see you next week.
See you, space boyfriend.